was wondering what you were gonna say, but welcome back, friends, to some more Midwest Championship Series, some more Rocket League, some more whatever proverbial thing you want to say to incite what is called Rocket League, but
Carball.
Carball, whatever you want to say, because our thing says car soccer. So we are ready for Rising Star Week number 2. We're into the second week of the season. We are crawling towards that first major, and looking to get into the heart of the season, but the heart of the first split. So there's 2 splits this season, 2 majors, and then we get to that illustrious in-person event. But Brock, should be a blast for week number 2. We got some good matchups coming up. It should be definitely a good night.
Yeah, second week of Rising Star, and all of MCS. It's the first time, at least this season, we're gonna see double headers take place. So teams will be playing 2 matches this week. Whether that's both of them on their respective day, I don't know. But some teams already have their matches done. And in Rising Star, I don't know, have any teams played yet?
Today? Well, I mean, yeah, obviously teams have played, but
more so week 2 for.
More so week 2, not from what I can see. Nobody has played ever.
Yeah, it looks like nobody.
Reschedule? There was no single reschedule.
Yeah, the only one that's happened in the league has been my game that happened on the 10th yesterday. I was surprised. I thought I'd seen more like reschedules.
There's no reschedules on the thing that I'm looking at now. Not a single one, but taking a look at today's matches, you've got the St. Paul Senators taking on the Mankato Atlas, the St. Cloud Flyers, the Minneapolis Miracles, Des Moines, Derecho, Duluth Superiors, Green Bay Knights, Brainerd Victory. Should be a blast. Senators and Atlas coming your way. In this first one, these are both teams that are coming off of losses. The Senators played the Burnsville Inferno last week, lost in 4. The Atlas played the Miracles, who are going to play in that next series, and lost in 3. So, what can you say, Brock? 2 teams that are both coming off of L's. I myself am going to more than likely favor the one that took a game in the St. Paul Senators. So I'll just go ahead and favor them. But they're playing with a sub. So
yep.
I'm going with the Atlas.
I like Caesar. It was fun to watch them play. But I think they had their full roster, I'm pretty sure, in week 1. Just wasn't able to get it done there. I really think the Atlas should have the upper edge in this one. As my game is currently showing, I was wondering why it was all black. Because I wasn't tapped in, but Z Small right away, Stewie, into the back of the net for the Atlas, only 6 seconds in.
I'm not on Central servers, and there's a reason why I'm not on Central servers, because my ping will be 190. Apologies, friends, but a good start for the Atlas right away, and I apologize to the players for not being on Central servers. I can switch it after the map, but at the same time, we've been playing on Central servers for the past, we've been playing on East servers for the past 8 years, and I don't think it's going to make a difference, to be honest. But
it doesn't seem to be a difference to me, at least. So
to me, in my experience so far with these new Central servers since it was updated, Brock, I found that overall, I had almost a better experience on East still. Just a better connection overall, but also just a more stable connection. It seemed like there was a lot of Central options that were not not as good. But yeah, no, it to me it is kind of just ping, where you do get about 20 lower ping, but it doesn't really outweigh the benefits to me. But this one so far, the Atlas up by 1, and the Senators, though, the key for me is they're missing their big piece in Caesar.
Yeah,
he's not playing tonight, so as their first round pick, that's not going to be available. But we'll see what Seppi and Firecraft the sub and Shig can get done.
I mean, I'd argue that Caesar was one of their most important players, if not the most important player on their team, in terms of his first man capabilities in week 1. I mean, there were so many times where he'd be just all over the ball as first man, constantly, challenging, constantly taking 50s. We saw like a lot more heavy offensive Caesar, as Bladat gonna put the second goal in, as the Senators, they overcommit just a bit.
Yeah, just a step, as they're gonna get caught. As the Atlas are up by 2 now, and are looking at a lead in this game, looking for a lead in the series. They should win this one, though. They do have their full roster, so they're playing at full strength, full structure, whatever you want to say, Brock. But they're not exactly working with any misfortunes. Despite the 0-1 record, that's the only thing that I can really say.
They're all on the battle bus too. It's not just like one person.
Yeah, I noticed. I started to notice that. I didn't know what on earth that meant, but I think it may have some sort of thing when it comes to this game. Brock, do you have any idea why they would be in battle buses, besides the fact that the battle bus is a meme car? But we have seen good performances with it in the past in this league.
Yeah.
There's some players who are no slouches to pulling it out and having a good time, but Blada has another, and he's 2 for 3 to start this one off.
Yep, Wario coming out on top as Shig cannot land in time. Oh, wait, what did they say in chat?
This is server change to Central, please. Yeah, I don't know if I will be honoring that, but we'll see what happens. But regardless, still 2 minutes left and a 3-0 advantage for the Atlas.
Mm-hmm. As Seppi tried to redirect that one towards the net, but not too much of a hefty touch on it. It's just going to be cleared out on the goal line. Z-Small going across. And now vertically takes a good 50. It's kind of just been the Senators on defense, and the Senators playing more defense, as this might be an opportunity. Good 50 here for Shig, as it's going to go off of the wall. Shot from Seppi going to be denied by Z-Small, as Ricky the Sig going to outplay Firecraft. As Shig, not with the best touch. Z-Small, though, going to not be able to get it around him, as Bladat in the corner with so much boost and is just so fast to the ball. I mean, he was one of the top picks in Rising Star for a reason, as that's a really good pass. Gonna be denied, though, as the Senators have a minute, and they haven't been really close to scoring here yet.
I gotta check my scoreboard binding. I think I might just plug in my controller and figure it out, but see what these guys' pings are at. But so far, Atlas is dominating this game, and
it's not the best USE server. That just happens.
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah, it's 60 plus for most of them, a couple of them, but regardless, it should be fairly interesting, Brock, for the rest of the series, how it goes, because we don't know what is going to go down. But so far, it's just been Mankato on the tear, getting the boost grabs in the corner. A good shot from Z-Small towards the nets. As yes, I get it. I know you guys want a server change. I can see it. I definitely am reading it. So we'll get that done. But this one, I mean, pretty much over Brock. It was all Mankato, and it still kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
And they aren't squandering too many opportunities for the Senators to even get a shot off, let alone a passing play to put together. But Bladat was picked first round in Challenger last season and fell all the way down to Rising Star.
Mm-hmm.
And finds himself on a team that's 0-1 to start the season, which is interesting to me that they're 0-1 to start the season.
Agree. It is a bit odd. Who'd they play week 1? Because they look solid.
They played Minneapolis. They played my team, which is a solid team, but they look solid here.
Slandering.
I mean that is what? That is 16. Is 16 shots from the Atlas to start this game.
Yeah, I mean it was all Atlas in game 1. But the Senators managed to get 10 demos.
Somehow, I don't know how they got. I have no idea how they got 10 demos. But I mean, 6 from Seppi is interesting, to say the least. The fact that they got that many demos and didn't score a goal is very, very surprising. But I'll go ahead and put up the new server for you, Brock. But yeah, no, it's I switched it to a central server, so see if these guys have a differing opinion about it. But
maybe they can hop out of the battle bus.
For sure.
They should be good to go, right?
No, they should be they should be good to go if they want to, but I don't know. They're gonna take as much time as they want to, but I mean, the story for me is that the Senators don't have their full roster, and historically we've seen teams with subs not have the best time, Brock, when it comes to not have the best time when it comes to overall just winning games, but also putting the ball in the back of the net. And when you're missing your first round pick, it's definitely difficult. But we've seen miracle runs before of teams that were missing their high player and able to do some damage regardless of who they were playing. But I think they all hopped out of the battle bus and all hopped into an Octane. So I think it's get down to business game more than it seems like. What the plan is, but
why go all battle bus in game 1 and get manhandled in the first game, and now find yourself? I mean, you've survived a minute through this one, but who knows? It could have been the same through the other one. But that looks like it's gonna be an open net for Ricky the Sig, who puts it over the defense. A minute in, and it's just a clear goal as Shig goes missing.
And Seppi was caught because of that Shig miss. And as a result, it goes all the way down the field, and it's, a free open net for the Atlas to put into the back of the net. And it's about a free net as you could possibly want. So good start again for the Atlas, who have scored 5 unanswered so far. We'll see if St. Paul can get on the board, but see what they can do as Seppi gets a good first touch and has a ton of boost. Is an interesting car design. That's going to go middle. Shake has a shot. He will get on the board. He finds the left side and finds the slot, and the Senators are able to tie the game, Brock.
Yep, it's an unfortunate touch out. That went right to Shig. They place it perfectly over on the left side with a lot of power to it as well. And, I mean, got the response goal. Really good quality shot. And Senators looking to get back into this series, as net game number 1 was just out of the reach. Blodek goes missing, almost bumps his teammate out of the way. He does bump his teammate out of the way. 50 goes down. Z-Small going to take it low. Smart play from them, as Seppi trying to cut this one first, but Firecraft going to get beat by Z-Small. It's going to go central. Shig gets a touch, but it's into Seppi. And it's all chaos right now, but finally there's a moment of clarity, and Firecraft over to the right side, just gonna give it forward, but almost had a nice follow-up on the 50. The Senators, they're getting more looks on offense, and they've just been given a free ball.
Good challenge from Bladat. Ricky the Sig over the top of the Firecraft. He gets that second touch off the sidewall. Seppi gonna stay on this ball, kind of give it away though to right to Z Small's car, who looks to pinch with Bladat, but Shig kind of caught out the Atlas as they have to scramble back and get a touch. They don't really get a good one. Bladat though, a 1v3 will make the save and turn it to the side as Z Small is off of respawn to help him. Oh. And he finds Bladat down the field as Bladat finds the shot middle of the net, and that is a beautiful redirect.
I mean, Bladat quite literally gave them a free shot off of the backboard, and they just could not find a good shot, and it was low enough and slow enough to where Bladat could get the save, and then, I mean, transitions, it just incredible shot from Bladat to give them a 1-goal lead as Firecraft, and he's been looking pretty solid as their, especially as their sub. So he's gonna outplay one there. Seppi's there. It's gonna be saved by Bladat. Shot from Shig gonna be off the post, and the Senators don't come away with a goal there. Atlas unshaved there, unscathed there, unshaved. You can tell I'm tired, Steve.
Unshaved,
Seppi,
unscathed.
oh, over the top of the defense. 2-2, and it's back to a tie game.
Bladat was trying to bump him, and Seppi just kind of walked by him, upped it over Bladat's head. He couldn't even recover to it. And as a result, it was the touch across that made it happen, as they were able to get that play through as Bladat running off the backboard. Shig, though, is equal to that task, has a touch to the sidewall, and doesn't have a ton of boost, but is able to keep the Senators alive for now. Brock, they're able to somewhat scramble out of their half, but they're only as far as the midfield line allowed. They're pinned in by this Mankato Atlas midfield line that continues to hold the minute 14 as they're slowly ticking down the clock and looking for that 1 goal, Brock, that will net them this game in the 2-0 edge, as they may have found it, and they do. Z Small and Bladat combine off the backboard, and that shot is placed to perfection.
A really good connection here from Z Small to Bladat. They utilize the backboard, put it in a spot where the defense can't reach it, and it bounces central. And it's a difficult save for the defense as the Atlas, they take back their lead, and the Senators got a minute to respond here, or else, you know, a 2-0 swing as opposed to, you know, a 1-1 series is massive in a best of 5. And right now, I mean, they're staring right at it as 20 seconds have already passed. Firecraft gonna be up for this one, takes the 50. Z Small there, just gonna play it to the corner as Seppi now gonna settle this one, forces a touch out of Ricky the Sig, but Shig though, no boost on the ball. It's dangerous in front of their net, and Ricky the Sig gonna put it away for the Atlas, almost guaranteeing their win here in game 2.
And it is almost going to guarantee the fact that they're going to win the series. As they're going to likely be up 2-0, and in 24 seconds in, they're going to definitely confirm that game, as time is going to tick away on St. Paul, who have to collect the ball in their back half. They're getting demoed and getting removed off the pitch, as they are able to scramble out into that corner, but Bladat kind of gets a fake and kills time as he's just running through 50 after 50 like he's shopping for groceries, as Bladat will kill it down. And the Atlas are 1 game away from a very quick sweep of the Senators.
Yep. They look like the favorites here. And I mean, Firecraft doesn't look bad. I mean, you know, we talked about even them having a sub. I just think that what we're seeing from the Atlas right now, just as a team, they're consistently, you know, out shooting. This one a bit closer throughout most of the game up until that very end where, you know, they scored 2. But, I mean, we saw the Senators score 2 goals. I mean, they responded twice. It was a close game up until the very end. It's an improvement compared to that last game. Got the servers they wanted. They're out of the battle bus. Maybe game 3 is where they find some success. But right now, I mean, all three of these players on the side of the Atlas look super dangerous right now for the Senators to deal with.
I think they look more just annoying, to be honest. More of a pain to try and tackle, as they can't really get their way out, Brock. As you know, they are able to get on the scoreboard in that last game. They put up 2 with the change of ping, and I can see why these guys want central servers, because 2 of them are on 12 and 16 ping. So I think it makes a difference. But Ricky the Sig able to open up the scoring again for the Atlas, who, I mean, all 3 of them, Brock, have found the back of the net, and they continue to do so.
Seppi so close to getting a touch there to get them out of harm's way, but Ricky the Sig following up, gets the Doomsy Dish touch into the back of the net. And it's another lead for the Atlas. Firecraft taking control of the ball here. Just going to force a 50. Really like that. Just force the defense to make a play right to you. As a lot of simplistic things are going to work at this level if you're able to position correctly. But right now, I mean, one of these passes from the Atlas, they are just on another level right now compared to the Senators. Look at this pass from Ricky the Sig to Blaudat, and the power as well in the shot. It's not easy to put that one over the defense. And he makes it look easy. It's a 2-goal lead for the Atlas, and I mean, another reason why Blaudat is, you know, first round challenger, and another reason, or first round rising star, and another reason why Ricky the Sig has the coolest name, arguably the coolest name in Rising Star, you know, according to Paxton. So, and as well as me, but 2-goal lead, Atlas, a little bit as he's gonna put it away.
Oh my
3
God.
goals, Stewie, and it's only been a minute. Z Small forces a touch to the backboard, and I mean, Seppi had a touch, but he got bumped off of it, couldn't land on the backboard, and just everything's falling into place for the Mankato Atlas as they start off Game 3 very strong. And I mean, hopefully you're trying to score quickly here. I mean, they're just gonna sit back and take this free clear that they give them, not really doing too much, as that might be a good pass. Firecraft gets one, gets bumped out of the way. Physicality is definitely there for the Senators, at least in that Game 1. But
yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's so difficult to start thinking about what you can do better next when you're just being dominated by the other team.
I think it's difficult to figure out what you can change when it doesn't seem like there's anything you can do to change. You figure something else out, you try it, and it doesn't work. It's just like, you know, you're already into that domination phase of, you know, we can't get anything to go our way, as T-Small walks around all 3 defenders for the Senators, and they're definitely missing Caesar tonight, as Firecraft doing his best to sub in, but it's really tough when you're facing an entire roster.
A really good sub, by the way.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Keeping things, you know, somewhat close, giving them a chance to. But I'm really surprised this Atlas team did fall to Burnsville. Burnsville must be very, very good then. As this Atlas team looks, I mean, on paper they should be good, but in this series so far they do look quite solid.
Yeah.
I mean, a very, very solid team for sure that looks to go 1-1 so far in the season, and they do have another match later on that they will be playing. So obviously, like you said, Brock, the first of double headers for the week, for the season. So both of these teams going to play 2 matches tonight, not just one. So you figure you go 0-1 on a match, you go into the next match, Brock, with possibly, you know, your head a little bit higher because you have another opportunity to get a win on the board, and maybe a goal here as Seppi has a shot, but going to be saved by the man that is Blaudat in his Wario costume. Playing some good Rocket League today for sure, giving his team likely a 3-0 win. This is a good chance for the Atlas to build some confidence going into that next series.
Yeah, and I mean, Senators just finding that extra gear, that chemistry Those midfield passes that end up working so well as Bladat chasing down Seppi in the net. Gonna end up leaving that one as... I mean, the Senators, they just don't have... It's a nice touch from Firecraft. They just don't have enough offense at the moment to really put anything threatening towards the Atlas. There'll be countless times where they kind of just clear the ball towards them. It'll be a decent touch, but, you know, Atlas will just be waiting for it, and, you know, they'll take the free ball. And, I mean, just with the way that they're playing right now, Bladat to the backboard. I mean, Ricky the Sick, a quite a late pick in the second round. Looking really good here. Also with a really good name, as that somehow goes through Seppi. That's a Rocket League moment right there. But I mean, either way, 5-0 would have been 4-0 with a minute left. The Atlas pretty much wrapping this one up in 3, as Rising Star week 2, the first game will be a sweep, as
oh man,
that shot would have been so nice.
Yeah,
it
for
dropped
sure.
in the top corner, but I mean, only 30 seconds left. And Ricky the Sig is going to find another goal here for the Mankato Atlas.
Ricky the Sig has 701 points to cap off this game with 33 seconds remaining. It is all Mankato, excuse me, as they are running through the St. Paul Senator side. Maybe they get one. They get a fire of a shot from Seppi. That is definitely one you're going to like. Is a good kickoff from Shig. It was a fake chance attempt, actually, for Z-Small, who doesn't get a ton on it. And as a result, Brock, it is
they're setting up the Brazil.
Shot.
It is a really good shot. The placement, the power, I don't think it really could have been any better in that situation. But I mean, you're not going to be able to get a kickoff, you know, shot chance every single time. Is Ricky the Sig going to put it away for the Brazil with 14 seconds left? Just padding the stats at this point. I'm even going to hit tab. Ricky the Sig has 845 points. Someone stop this man.
We are onto the foreign country, and yeah, you see the scoreboard. That's a lot of points. That is a lot of victories for this Mankato.
They're ruining it. Let them ruin it.
They're looking for an 8th. They're looking for more, as that's going to go off the sidewall. It's going to hit the ground with Z-Small, and the Mankato Atlas on a quick sweep will win this series in a 3-game set. And Brock, it was all them. It was all them to start in that first game. It was all them all the way through, as Mankato will move on into the win column on the season. They are going to go to the 1-1 record now. Obviously, going to their second series, Brock, they're going to go to you know, into that second one with a victory, on riding high on a win, and hoping to get another. Because honestly, I would love to get another too. I think that's an important thing, definitely, to think about, for sure. But yeah, no, it's a good win, but it's a really, I'm not trying to say dominant, but they definitely controlled the pace of the play for sure.
Yeah. The Atlas, I mean, just really solid. I mean, the game 2 was up for grabs at one point for most of it. It was a 1-goal game, you know, for either side. But at the end of it, a 2-goal swing for the Atlas. Other than that, games 1 and 3, way out of the question, especially with the battle buses in game 1. I don't think that helped their chances too much. The Atlas sweeping the Senators, and coming up, the Flyers and the Miracles, Stewie. Gonna be rooting for you're gonna be rooting for your team, of course, and Prussia likewise on the end of St. Cloud. Stewie, we're gonna be going to a quick break, and we will return at around 6:45 for our second matchup of the night.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got some more MCS Rocket League. MCS Rocket League. God, I still do it. Even after however many seasons, Crispy, it's been since we moved. It's been one. But regardless, we got some more Rocket League coming at you. Should be a good one. Crispy and I are going to bring you a series that I probably am looking forward to. The one I'm looking forward to the most, Crispy. It's my Minneapolis Miracles taking on the St. Cloud Flyers. Both of these teams coming off of wins. One of them was a sweep for the Miracles, who swept the Mankato Atlas, who we just saw win in a sweep, and the Flyers swept the victory. Crispy, how you been, my guy? You excited for some more Rising Star action?
Yeah, it's my second week casting. I'm ready to come back and just run it through. You know, we got Ray, Debu, and Owo, or Uwu, and Wide Busy, AK, and Dave. It's going to be a good matchup. AK, my former CRL teammate. I'm rooting for him here. He was the last Season 8 champ of Rising Star. He was on the Flyers last season, actually, so it'll be interesting for him to play his own franchise, but his old franchise here. Yeah, they're both going in 1-0. It's going to be a good matchup. They're both solid teams.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I'm looking out for my Miracles in this one. You got Y Busy and AK and Dave, and those two, the two names that I just said, Y Busy and AK, the two first names. Sorry, Dave, Liquipedia man, got to give him his credit. But AK is the player I'm looking out for in this series. One last season, like you said, with St. Cloud, is placing his former franchise. Obviously, none of the St. Cloud players, move back to their old franchise, which is interesting to me that Prussia didn't want to run it back with any of these guys, didn't want to even take the chance of picking them again. But again, yeah, this is our second matchup of the night, where we have two more to go. The next one is going to be a good one too. Anyone want to look out for? That's Des Moines and Duluth. And the one after that is Green Bay and Brainerd. But yeah, no, we can run through predictions if you want, Crispy. My predictions are obviously going to favor the Miracles because I'm a part of the Miracles. I'm going to go with the Miracles in 5. I think this is going to be a series that definitely is going to go the distance.
Interesting. Because I have kind of the similar take on that. I'm saying in 4. They're going to win 3-1 in this series.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. He's definitely quick with it, but we can go and get these guys into the game. And Crispy, we have got a set of possible 5 games. Maybe we'll get 3, maybe we'll get 4. We can't get 6, we can't get 7, but we can at least get 3, as we are going to kick this one off and jump into game number 1, Miracles Flyers. It's going to be a blast, as already the St. Cloud Flyers applying pressure towards that Miracle side. We'll see what they can do, but I like what Brock brought up in the previous series. It's about simplicity in Rising Star. It's about making the simple plays that are effective and the ones that work, as that is going to be a 50 right in front of the net for Iwu to get the first goal.
Yeah, just a bad corner 50 out of there by Y Busy. You never want those corner 50s to come back over your own net when no one's defending. You know, they just had good pressure there and got one right through.
Yeah, definitely quick pressure for that St. Cloud Flyers side. And AK, I'm wondering what in the heck happened as Y Busy kind of just got that 50 go right through him. But that is a beautiful pass across for Busy and AK as they double commit into the corner. Dave left back in a 2-on-1 with Debu and Iwu, but Dave just sends it right away and is able to turn that one away as God, it's just too many ways. Ray, Iwu, I can't even talk as.
Oh no, did we just see an own goal?
I think we did.
Wow.
The dump from Y Busy in the front half. And then Iwu decides to just put that one in for the Miracles, I guess. Yeah, Bang is right. As that's going to tie up the game, Crispy.
Wow, that is an interesting way to tie up this game. Not the first goal you're expecting, but you know it's a plus for them none the least.
Definitely, for sure.
I'm seeing good control out of both teams here. I'm not seeing too much bang ball here, actually. I'd like to call it pinball, but usually the first game, you know, you have the jitters, you're going in, you don't know what to expect. You see a lot of banging the ball around. I'm not seeing that here.
Definitely not. They're taking their time as they see fit. As Y Busy tried to catch out the St. Cloud Flyers defense, he caught everyone but Ray. As Rayo has the clear down the field, Iwu has the touch off the backboard, and Y Busy does not have the read. No, neither does St. Cloud. As they're going to escape out, and they will push to that front corner as they're looking to get the lead. But, I mean, about game one, the jitters are definitely there, but it's more to me about, like you said, the possession game. Not throwing the ball away to start because you don't really know what you're going to get from your opponents to start the series. They could be nervous themselves, or they could be red hot, and giving them the ball, Crispy, could result in an early goal.
Yeah, we're seeing some good stuff here. It's a close game. It's not off balanced. I'm seeing both teams here fighting tooth and nail. It's going 50-50 here. Who's going to win this game? We got AK here. Y Busy up the wall, gets bumped by his own teammate. Interesting play. Ray with the dribble, great control, going for that flip reset. It's going to be just wide. He does not get the four wheels there. Debu with a good hit to the corner. He's going off the wall, but he is bumped by Y Busy. Good 50 from AK. Got 20 boosts to work with. Dave cuts it across. I don't know if he wanted that there. He tried putting that on. Oh no. An open net goal from Ray as the defense is just in disarray.
Dave goes missing. Y Busy goes missing. Ray is going to walk that one all the way home. As these two teams have definitely scrimmed each other, actually, and have definitely played against each other so far at the beginning of this season. Not in matches, obviously, Crispy, but you know, it's interesting to see now that we're getting into the double headers. You know, I mean, just asking you, obviously you're playing in MCS this season as well as me, but are you kind of like a player, you know, you lose the first series of the day. Do you feel like that next series is tougher?
For sure, definitely. You know, it's all about that momentum coming out first. You don't often see reverse sweeps in MCS or just in RLCS in general, but I mean, it does happen. It's just all about mentality. You just got to keep knowing that you're going to do well the next series, even though if things don't go your way, Stewie.
And definitely, for sure. Obviously, maybe the ball just isn't bouncing the way you want it to, but this game, about 70 seconds left, and 2-1 advantage still for St. Cloud. This is kind of a free ball for Minneapolis to deal with, but Dave, the Wikipedia man, going to kick it all the way down the field as Iwu kind of gives it away to AK. That's a shot to the left side of the net, but was not on target, as we cannot get that touch to go in just yet. But touch and a good beat from the midfield for St. Cloud as they're going to find maybe a pass play off the backboard, a lineup tap for Debu, but can't get that one to go in. As Ray is going to get that third and is able, to bounce it through.
Yeah, we call that shot in the 6-man server the Buso bouncer. After I don't know if anyone's heard of that, but we call those shots the Buso bouncer.
I have never heard that before. That is a term that I am learning just now. So I appreciate the information, definitely, for sure, Crispy. But yeah, no, we're gonna jump into this game number 2, likely with a 1-0 advantage for St. Cloud, who are on top to start, have put in 3, looking for 4 as AK has to make a save on his back line. Good touch around 1 or 2 defenders, but St. Cloud has the touch. Ball's going to go back to AK. That's the touch midfield for Dave to line up, but can't get anything going. And with only 6 seconds left, Crispy, it's St. Cloud on top to start. They had a good start to this game, and they keep on rolling through as their pressure only going to get better as the series goes on.
The Flyers here have immense pressure. They had that own goal early on by Ewo, but they really bounced back. You know, they got 10 shots to the Miracles 2, and that's just, you're not winning that game if you just can't get as many shots as goals on the other team.
Definitely, definitely an interesting thing for sure. But you know, I think overall, it's going to be an interesting second game. Can the Miracles bounce back? Can they get things done? But it should be interesting to see what rebuttal we get. Do they have a change to make? Because I think that they can definitely make some alterations. It's just going to depend on what they're willing to sacrifice. Because obviously, you know, making a change, you're gonna look at what I don't even know where I'm going with this. What with making a change when it comes to your gameplay, you're gonna have to sacrifice some things. You know, you're gonna have to take more risks, is what I was leaning towards, I think.
One thing I totally agree with you, Stewie. One thing I want to see from this squad, I don't know if they are they're listening in here, but I want to see the third man a little bit farther back on the field there. They were caught up on a couple of those goals with all 3 of their players kind of being too far up the field when that initial clear came out.
I think they're just juggling cams. No idea as to why.
I don't know what's going on here?
As everybody's in here, I think. No idea why they're juggling cams. Or juggling things is you know, you don't have to do that anymore. They did fix that. You could just click spectate and it'll bring you back to the original thing. So if you didn't know that, now you know. We're gonna jump into game number 2 and load on in for the Miracles to try and tie up this series. But it's St. Cloud who have come out with a hot foot and have really done a good job of pressing forward, doing their best to really shrink down this Miracles defense, who have had to deal with this St. Cloud attack. That, I mean, when this team was comprised, Crispy, you know, there's kind of those teams that when they're drafted, you're just like, you know, okay, that's going to be a good team. It's like not necessarily on paper, but you maybe have experience with how they play, and you just know. As Dave, we'll get the first on the board for the Miracles.
One thing with this play here that I see is the aggression from Busy here, going for that demo and net. You know, maybe he didn't hit it, but he definitely made Ray shaken in his boots by going for that demo, allowing them to get that first goal. Great play, great start from the Miracles. I want to see this going all the way through. I'm still going with it. I see it in game 4. I see it. Just trust. Ray here with a shot opportunity. It's going to get cut off. AK not able to get on that ball, but why Busy here? Pass to Dave. Dave gets the clear downfield, but the Flyers will have possession of this ball as Ray goes to the air. 50 to the corner. Wow. I don't know if that was in, but what a stop from AK to get that to the corner, but they still have possession here, Stewie.
Not a ton of boost either, Crispy, for Dave especially, but Busy does have a full tank. Ray, though, off the back, we're looking for one more touch. Debu demos the front line defender. There's no one left for Minneapolis but AK to clear it out, and he does win the 50. Going to be required to make one more touch, and I mean, that's one thing is I look at obviously Rising Star as a backboard game of who plays better backboard defense, but also how they save the ball is super important as well. As it's going to be a demo and a scramble save for Wybusy as he's able to turn it away. But Crispy, for me, it has to be how they save the ball. You know, you got to work on those corners and definitely use the parts of the field where your opponents aren't at, because that's going to allow you really to clear the lines a lot safer. You don't have to burn as much boost to make those saves.
The Minneapolis Miracles here are just really on that offensive game. You know, we're seeing a lot of demos this game compared to last game. We're also seeing a lot more bump opportunities that they're getting by following through that ball, and instead of rotating back, they are going straight for a demo before going to that third man position. And what I'm seeing so far, you know, it's working out for them, Stewie.
For sure. Up 1-0 in this game and holding it through the first half and now into the second half. As can they keep up that momentum? Because it was kind of an overcommit. AK left alone back, and Ray's just going to walk right by him and is able to put that ball in the back of the net in the one-on-one. Will get over the top of his head as that's a good touch from Ray and is able to get that one on the board and tie up this game. As that was just a tough place for AK to be, as he does not have a ton of boost and is not able to do really much with that. As over the halfway point, Crispy, in this game, and hopefully we don't see the momentum shift for our prediction's sake, but it is kind of shifting as Wybusy will stay on the ball where he said it. That is the possession you want to see.
Is that the first flip reset goal we've seen in Rising Star?
It might be on stream. Yeah, on stream. Yeah, for sure. But maybe, I don't know. Someone can quote us on it. But regardless, that is disgusting from Wybusy.
Ooh here with the hard shot. Wybusy with the save to the corner. Ray's going to 50 this in the corner. Interesting take, but it's going to stay in their end as Debu gets 50. Definitely. Kind of a bang here. Dave with the pass middle. Ray, again, going to the air here. One thing I see with Ray this game, his air control is just on point. Every time the ball goes in the air, he's able to get a second touch to the ball that allows them to advance quicker and to have more possession on the field.
That's something you bring up is field control is definitely important, because you know, you're working for that second, third touch in a row, fourth touch in a row, whatever it may be. It's important for you to, you know, get that field control to get out and get the boost that is at that midfield line. Is Wybusy has a demo, looking for another one, has the bump. AK has the shots. As he does get the demo, the bump through, as Minneapolis are in control of this second game, and they have a third on the board. And Wybusy and AK, this duo, is looking good so far in this series.
Like I said at the beginning, their aggression has just been shown throughout this game. Almost another one there as, I stand corrected. Another one there as Dave gets that nice Buso bouncer shot once again.
Good follow-up from
I don't know.
Dave.
A really good follow-up. It was just a good kickoff, to say the least. It went straight up to the ceiling. Just an awkward position that you want to be at as last man.
In your opinion, Crispy, do you feel like kickoffs are starting to become almost a meta in Rocket League, like almost like a plans? Like every team seems to have kickoff plans, and it seems like the teams that do have kickoff plans see more success in finding quick goals and finding quick gaps on their opponents. I don't know if your experience is different, but to me, I feel like kickoffs are starting to become almost vital in Rocket League, in anyone's Rocket League game, as Ray's able to get the second on the board for St. Cloud and cut the lead in half.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just at our rank in Premier, it's just in 3v3, I don't think kickoff strategies really work that well. Just because you always have someone going for that back right or back left boost that's always there to be back. And usually you're taught at a higher rank to not really turn upfield than to turn back the net. So a lot of Spanish opportunities don't actually work out. It's Definitely. Really all about that initial 50 off the initial kickoff that kind of will mess up teams and put people in awkward positions.
Definitely for sure. Is this one ticking away? Ray, though, has something to say. 5 seconds left. This is a 4-1 advantage for Minneapolis. And maybe a miracle going to the other side as St. Cloud cuts the lead to 1. Yeah, some pressure building on this Minneapolis side as they have got to kill this 5 seconds, Crispy. Can they get it done as Busy wins the kickoff up to Debu. Is going to keep it up at 0 seconds. Has an air dribble. AK, though, has the read. Ray cannot make that off the side wall as the Miracles will tie up the series at 1 game apiece. And it was a masterclass from all 3 players, really. But Busy, 765 points and a win for his team.
Busy really took that one into his own hands there. Not only did he have 765 points, but he also had, I don't know the exact amount, he had so many demos that allowed goals to go in for them and allow them to take one from the Flyers here.
Definitely, for sure. Had a lot of bumps, had a lot of physical play, and was able to get that one through. Is looking for another win for the Miracles to go up 2-1 if they can get it done, and then they'll reign true to our prediction, Crispy. But our prediction definitely favoring the Miracles. Obviously, both of us picking them to win. I picked them in 5 because I give this this Flyers team a lot of props. They're very well made. Like I said, it's one of those teams that you look on paper, Crispy, and it's like, wow, that's. I mean, even when they're drafted, they never played with each other. You just know, wow, that's going to be a good team based on what you've seen from them in the past. But a bump from Ray as a demo comes across, and St. Cloud starting this game off. 10 seconds in, they get a physical play on the front half of the Miracles box.
Let's start here. They're turning it around on the Miracles here, starting to get that aggression up on their end as well. That's one thing, in Rocket League, you see one team doing something a lot better than you. You really need to combat that and do it even better. And we're seeing that out of the Flyers here with that first goal with the demo.
Another demo coming on the front half. Dave gets blocked as Busy gets shut down by Debu. Dave off the respawn. Not a ton of boost to work with. Debu off the backboard. Ray goes missing and was 100% looking for that one back as Busy grabs the corner boost, has full amount and has a full possession, has a backboard pass to Dave as he's going to kiss the backboard one more time. AK goes missing. It's a 2-on-1 as they find Debu in the midfield and Dave is caught out as third man. And that is back-to-back touches from St. Cloud as they're up by 2.
Great team play by Debu and Ray here. Back-to-back touch, putting them in a really good position for this game. 4 minutes left still. Anything can happen, but they definitely have the advantage here on pressure.
For sure, they found a lot of physical plays to start this game. A couple bumps, a couple demos, and a couple goals as a result, as we're 60 seconds in and Minneapolis struggling to get out. Not a ton of boost in their favor. Every time I switch to a Miracles player, it just seems like they're starving, scrapping for a pad, let alone a corner boost. Is starting to ramp up the aggression is the Flyers with still plenty of time in this game to get back in. And Crispy, staring down a 2-0 disadvantage like this, it's hard to keep confidence in yourself. But the Miracles did just win that last game, and now they're going to find another one. And we're even in this series so far. We're deadlocked. Horns are deadlocked for sure between these two, as both of them coming off of wins, but St. Cloud coming off that loss in game 2 don't look phased at all going into this third game.
Stu, you said it really well. They are definitely taking the handle here on this game 3. One thing you don't want to do when you're down is overcommit. That's something we see a lot at these lower ranks, and it's something the Miracles are being caught not off guard, but they are just trying to put up so much offensive pressure that they're overcommitting and giving free goals, it seems like, to the Flyers.
A lot of one-on-ones you see, Crispy, on these overcommits. And a lot of the times the player that's trying to defend the one-on-one has sub 12 boost, sub 6 boost, doesn't have anything really to work with. And that's tough when you're last back and you're scrambling to get back on this St. Cloud counterattack. Ray lining up a double, shut down by Busy. The good news for Minneapolis is they have plenty of time left in this game to get something going, but they don't have any sort of offensive control or offensive confidence that they had in that second game. But I like what you said, about overcommitting is, like I said, it's oftentimes a one-on-one, and the person who's scrambling back doesn't have any boost to work with and is just in a tough spot. So it's going to be interesting to see what Minneapolis does to combat this. But 3-0 advantage for St. Cloud. Halfway done is game 3. And St. Cloud looking to go up 2-1, and they're well on their way as there's 2 minutes left. And Dave pressing the front half of St. Cloud's midfield control. Is nobody going to be able to turn for the Miracles. And no chance here as Dave will collect the midfield boost, but kind of gives the ball away to Ray. And it's interesting to see how St. Cloud holds this midfield line, because they're finding passing plays to each other, and they're able to move the ball with some confidence.
Disarray on the backboard there as Miracles both miss the ball there. Interesting. Uwu here with the corner. He's going for the dribble with 100 boost. Kind of gives that away, and why was he there to shut it down? Debu, good control in the corner. Over 1. Oh, cannot get around that last one. Uwu in the net. Seeing another corner giveaway, actually. As the ball goes in the middle for Dave, he is not there to get the shot. AK back alone once again. One thing I'm really seeing is the third man from Miracles is, like you said, getting back left alone in just very awkward scenarios. Stewie.
Yeah, not a ton of boost for them to work with. Is 58 seconds left. You off the backboard has 2 players to pass forward. Says this is a 2-on-0 for the Miracles. Dave is able to hit the open net, and there's 49 seconds still left on that clock, Crispy, and Minneapolis are able to get a 2-on-0 and a one goal to start, as they're still down by 2, but they got to find one quick off the kickoff to even make this a game. It's been St. Cloud all on offense, and they finally get caught by Minneapolis as the touch goes back. Why busy? Pop touch air dribble will try and get over one. Gets shut down by Debu once again, and it's been Debu a lot of the times to meet Why busy in the air as Ray has the shot and the 3-goal advantage, and 37 seconds left, and all the hope I said for the Miracles is completely gone now.
Another odd man rush, a 2-on-1 there again against the Miracles. Next game, they really need to focus on the overcommitting aspect. As first man, it's okay to fly past the ball as long as you force it good for the second man. But you do not want to overcommit as second man and kind of miss the ball in a sense to put your third man in awkward scenarios, that last line of defense.
And you think about forcing the ball, forcing the play for your third man. There's definitely a difference between forcing for your third man and just missing the challenge overall, as Debu is able to get the 5th on the board. Good pass from Ray, and Ray and Debu have looked good in this game so far. Have really put a lot of offensive pressure, as the Flyers are up in the series likely with 12 seconds left, up 2-1, and looking to move to match point, as they are 1 game away from putting the Miracles to bed in 4 and completely ruining our predictions, as we kind of cursed the Miracles in this. We were hoping, Crispy, for them to come out hot and come out swinging to win the first 2 games. But it's got to be better so far for the Miracles. They got to shut down Ray, because he is 4 for 4 in that game.
So yeah, it's not looking good here. Our predictions are definitely janked a little bit, mine for sure, but you still have a chance there. One thing, we're seeing equal demos across the board, but like I said, demos are not going to win you games if you cannot control the ball on your own end. We saw a lot of missed touches and giveaways by the Miracles that just resulted in those odd man rushes for those goals.
Definitely, and I like what you said, giveaways. You can't be giving the Flyers possession just for free. Got to make them work for it. We got to make them earn the possession and take possession in your own right. So Minneapolis going to go to this 4th game down 2-1. We'll see what they can bring. As St. Cloud, Ray goes 4 for 4 to win game 3. Can he put the Miracles to bed in game 4? We'll see what we get, as Debu has a possession in the midfield and a shot chance to still win the 50, but why busy? into that corner. Maybe has one more pass middle as double commit from the Miracles. As Iwu is going to full send his third man. Will look for a shot, but possession from Debu will be removed by the Liquipedia man, Dave. Dave is going to press forward, look for a 50. Hoping Iwu was going to miss that as Debu maybe caught out third man, but won't get the touch. Wybusy off the backboard. Dave is there, but gonna put it wide, and those are the chances, Crispy, you got to be putting away at this point in the series.
For sure. Great pressure here to start from the Miracles. They're really getting that control aspect down. Wybusy up into the air, beats Debu to the ball. Dave here up in the air, misses the ball completely as they're left in another odd man rush. AK, though, able to get it to the corner and stay in front of this with low boost, though. Takes that low 50 up the wall as Wybusy controls that. Follows it up. Dave with the shot. That'll go just low for Ray to get an easy save, Stewie.
Good touch, Wybusy looking for a double off the backboard. Won't get the second one. Iwu full possession. Has one more towards that Miracles net. Dave shuts it down. As this one going to be a close game to start for the first minute and a half. Wybusy, can't imagine he has a ton of boost, but does have a pass to AK. AK has the shot, and it does require Debu to waste some boost to get that. Wybusy towards the middle of the field. Won't have the touch around him as Iwu maybe caught out the Miracles, but going to be Wybusy. Full possession in his corner. 100 boost to work with, but won't win that front man 50, and it's going to require Dave, who has nothing in the tank. Iwu kind of doesn't get the best shot as AK comes off his backboard to make that save and shut down the St. Cloud Flyers for now, but they're still pressing forward in that Miracles half as Wybusy may have gotten them out for now as he got a demo and AK on the counterattack.
Debu here up the wall. Wybusy with a shot, top left corner. AK to follow that up, goes high. Oh no, those are not the chances you want to see. Ray to the right of the net. Oh my. 2 chances, one from each team, just in disarray. They cannot find the net here, Stewie.
As my hands are on my head for a reason, as there is 2 minutes still left. And yeah, no, that one definitely going to hurt for the Miracles, but also for the Flyers. Ray had that counterattack, like Crispy said. And that is definitely difficult to squander an open net like that, as Dave has a touch across to Wybusy. That's off the backboard. Miracles finding back-to-back touches. They find a shot, but can't put it to the back of the net. Wybusy, good collection on his far side. Let's have some boost to work with as Iwu wins the 50-50. Ray has a shot, but can't find the back of the net. As AK looks to clear, Wybusy has the possession. He does clear, but only towards the midfield line. There's a minute and a half left in game 4, and nobody able to find the back of the net. We've seen 2 clean chances, but nobody able to put that open net in, and those open net misses are going to haunt teams for sure if you cannot find the back of the net. Ray, off the backboard, has one more touch. Dave, though, cuts out the shot as a demo on the back line. It was Debu who was spawning in, Crispy, and was able to get the boost and scramble back to make that save.
We're seeing equal shots here, Stewie, across the board. This is one of the closest games that I've probably seen in the 2 weeks of Rising Star here. These teams are just battling it out. You know, the Miracles do not want to lose this one here. They will be going home and undefeated if they lose this one in game 4. As for the Flyers, you know, they're just trying to shut it out. But those missed opportunities have led to this series being 0-0 across the board. Debu goes on the back wall here. AK is able to get a hit mid, but Debu is going to follow that up the wall. Uwu got 100 boost in the tank, going over Busy, but he gets the dunk. 3-on-1 here as Debu is left alone and still is able to make that clear out. Wow. Like I said, Stewie, those odd man rushes, you know, you always want to capitalize on them, but what a save there on the back wall. Oh, 6 seconds left, and Ray puts it in the net there, Stewie. Tell me what went on there.
They've got the bad touch. Just went off the front half. Wybusy can't make the save, and that is tough. for the Miracles to deal with. Do they have a rebuttal with 6 seconds left? Can Dave maybe revamp off the kickoff? The bump comes in, but the demo comes in from Wybusy. Ray is going to keep it up and put it towards the open, and we'll confirm game number 4 as the Flyers are going to win this one in 4, and we'll go to a 2-0 2-0 season so far, as they will get that second win, as the Miracles will fall to 1-1, and that was a tough one definitely to deal with for them, as they definitely are going to wonder what went on in that series, Crispy. But to give up a goal like that with 6 seconds left, it's definitely tough to win a series when you give up a goal with 6 seconds left. You don't have a lot of time to work with, and you gotta kind of rely on that kickoff to give you any chance of opportunity. But it's interesting to say the least. Don't want to harp on Dave too much, but did not get the best of touches to clear that ball away. And I would have liked to see somebody else go for the ball, as Dave didn't have a ton of boost to work with, and the ball was kind of going with the grain of the net. And as a result, Crispy, it means the Flyers win this one in 4. And honestly, looking at this score line, it was close the entire time. Nobody had a statistical advantage when it comes to winning this series. But I think overall, the Flyers just came to play. They capitalized on their opportunities more, and as a result, they're able to win this one and push themselves to 2-0. And how good is that for the confidence, Crispy?
Very, very good. Going into week 3 at 2-0 is just a very good thing to see here. I know last season, I believe it was the Duluth Superiors on Premier. We went 8-0 to the start of the season, and it was just such a good boost to even get those first 2 or 3 wins in the season. Having a good start really leads to great things down the road, for these first couple majors coming up. I know you're the GM of the Miracles. What do you want to see at a Rising Star that they didn't do as well, or that you want them to do in these next few weeks to, maybe gather up some points for more wins?
For sure. I honestly think it's just small things. Obviously, I know that this Flyers team can definitely become a team that can win the whole thing. Definitely are for sure a tough nut to crack. One of the better teams in Rising Star in my eyes. As Brock, you can probably throw it back to us. We'll throw it to a break. But regardless, I think overall that it's for me, it has to be the fact that the Miracles came to play, but it's again a team that I think is one of the best in Rising Star in the St. Cloud Flyers. They have shown it all season so far. In the first 2 weeks, they've done a good job of really finding the back of the net every single time, and as a result, I think overall it would be good for them, for the Miracles, to look back on this series, Crispy. I'm the type of person who, when I lose a series, I like to look back and understand, what did that other team do differently to beat me on that day. So Miracles definitely, I think they'll ask for a VOD reveal. More than likely, I'm more than happy to look over a VOD for them. So we'll see what we get. But that concludes our second series of the night. And I'm off for the night. But Crispy, you got one more to go. It's going to be a good one. Back. We got the Des Moines Derecho taking on the Duluth Superiors coming up at 7:30. So we'll throw it to a very short break, but you guys will definitely not want to miss this next match. Routine work when nobody see, but I ain't feel the stress. I know it's meant to be. 30 beats, I'm on a killing spree. I made every song in my discography. Yeah, that's every cent, every dollar. I ain't trying to listen to a broke scholar. Making moves to make the money taller. To the cash topping on the Eiffel Tower. Labels calling, I won't wear the collar. With my own drive, I can take it farther. Do it myself, don't ever bother. Been self-made now, shout out to my father. We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. It's an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say later, my ain't moving small. Woo.
Welcome back to Midwest Car Soccer Midwest Championship Series. That's the channel you're on. And I'm in the booth with Crispy for the first time, which is exciting. Yeah, hello. We got the Derechos and the Superiors today. What are you thinking about this one, my friend?
Well, we see here Des Moines, they have a win in their belt, and the Duluth Superiors do not have a win in their belt. So I'm looking for the Des Moines to come out strong. T-Jack, you know, he was gone last week for their series, and he is returning here to play. He was Rising Stars champion in Season 8 of LAN last season. So we're really expecting a great performance out of T-Jack, and I'm going to go with the prediction that they take it in 5.
Yeah, I put a ton of channel points on the Derechos, so I'm gonna go with them as well. But I'm gonna say in Game 4, I think they got it.
Really?
I think T-Jack, yeah, he's been around forever. He's got the experience, he's got the know-how, the skill to get it done. So I'm gonna say Game 4, and I believe we have all the gamers in the lobby, so we can get that going with a quick message to tell them to join up and get this great series started. But yeah, I'm hoping to see some leadership from T-Jack to really set the example. Of course, he was the first round coming in for the Derechos, so we'll have to see how he does.
Let's run it here as we send the go message in. Players joining the field here. I'm excited to see this series. I really, really, really want to see a Game 5 here. Last series, they took it in 4. T-Jack, something's going on here. Looks like a ping issue. Looks like we're going to need a server remake. 1 second here.
I thought maybe we were in, Asia or something, but no, we're in US Central. So we're going to leave that one real quick. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe the game glitched or something because we had some players with like 160 ping. Of course, that's not going to be ideal to play their series on, especially on stream, of course. They want to bring the best Rocket League to you guys. Of course, we want to bring the best commentary as well. So excited to see a really good series. And like you said, I hope it goes to Game 5 too. I really think it could. Jaws is a player that, he's on the come up recently. He's been around for a while as well. And I'm hoping to see some mechanics, some speed coming from him. I think T-Jack is kind of the backbone of this team. He's very solid. Not necessarily the fastest player, but I think the 2 players with him will provide that speed. And I'm pretty unknown about the Superiors, Crispy. I don't know much about them, but I'm excited to see how they deal with this Derechos team.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I was on the Duluth Superiors last season, so I have a bias. I kind of want them to win this series as well. But,
okay.
T-Jack there, he is just a very strong player and one that you do not want to leave alone in a one-on-one scenario or in the air alone. I feel like he's definitely going to take this series away and, lead the Des Moines to victory.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to check the ping right here. Preliminary checks. It looks like everyone's okay. Wolf is going to send the go message, our lovely broadcaster, and actually the GM of... Wait. No, sorry. Wait, who? Wolf, who are you the GM of? Des Moines. All right, thank you. All right, I was thinking Moss for some reason. Or Mace, I should say. But no, Wolf himself is the broadcaster today. All credit to him, and of course the GM of Derecho, so we all know who he's rooting for, and we all know T-Jack's capabilities. We already saw that. A flash in the pan early on, but no goal.
And right off the bat here, we're seeing a very strong defensive play out of T-Jack as Jaws taking it up the wall here. Zoms gets a touch out center. It's an open net. Wow. They were just caught up. Did not know where to go there as Zoms puts it in the open net, Tibbs.
And just that double commit on the challenge. And early on, you want to be a little bit more reserved. You want to see what the other team is going to do, how fast they're going to play. For everyone watching, remember, this is only week 2. This is very early on into the season. So you really want to make sure that you're kind of feeling out your opponent. And challenges like that are not a way to make it happen. But an early pass from Jaws to Zoms. Back to T-Jack. T-Jack to the middle. Zoms reflip to get that one, but he will miss it. Jaws now off the wall. This is what I'm looking for from him. Maybe a pinch almost with T-Jack. I almost thought they were going to peak there for this Rising Star team. Of course, now Superiors on the defense. That's an awkward one. It will just float in. And again, Superiors look so messy on defense.
What a bump there by I believe it was Zoms, and T-Jack just puts it right in that bottom left corner where Mikey was at. I'm really loving that aggression here. Let's see how they bounce back, though. Still 4 minutes left. We got a lot of time in this game, Tibbles. What do you want to see out of this squad to come back from this game?
I like that save there. I was gonna say if they score that one for the derechos on that play, they might have something, but maybe something on the other side. Mikey almost with that double touch off of the miss from the derecho defender. But again, a challenge like that, Crispy, that's exactly what I'm gonna talk about. They're going for these challenges that are not smart. You know, they're just kind of throwing themselves at the ball. And a player like T-Jack has plenty of experience to get it around you. He's not going to be fazed by that at all. That's not a great touch by Jaws, but T-Jack will save the day, get that one out for the clear. Over to Mikey, just to lob that one forward. Nobody's there on the follow-up. Look, they're back in the corner, both of them. Jaws might have the 50 to keep it in the Superior's corner, and again, they find themselves lacking.
Mikey here with the sidewall. Reed does not get the hit there, but easy with the clear. Up to Mikey. Mikey with the control in the corner. I'm really liking the patience out of Mikey there, allowing the team to still keep possession in the corner here as K-Easy takes a challenge, bumps T-Jack out of the way. Oh, a pinch Soul just to the left of the net. That was it right there, Tibbles.
Yeah, that was such a close one. Derecho survive by the skin of their teeth. T-Jack now has a chance. Busan the ball to get this one out. Maybe flip reset from him if he was a little closer to the ball. He might have had an opportunity to, but still in the midfield now. KZ will take over. Maybe a chance for the Superiors. Back for this. Nice pass to Soul. It's off target. I like the idea, though. They keep possession in the corner now. Back to Mikey. He's not far enough for the pass, and it will go down all the way back for Derechos to make another offensive stand. T-Jack won't get another touch on that ball. Back to KZ in the midfield. Mikey, another commit. That could have been risky, but they do find their way through. Still in the mid for K-Easy, though, and he'll put one on target, and finally Superiors will break through.
There we go. It just took that one, and they're already back in the game here. All they need is one more to get rolling off with that good start. And, of course, we're looking at when me and Stu were talking about last series, how important it is to win game one here. You know, it just sets you up with a lot of momentum going into the future games, and it makes the other team have to reset and really think about their play styles, Tibbles, to come away with the win.
Easy going for the clip of the day there with that doink, but doesn't quite work out. I agree. Game one kind of sets the pace for the rest of the series. What kind of response the losing team will come out with in game two. But Superiors don't look like that team that was down and out against the Derechos early on in this game. They look completely different. Look at the pressure they're putting on. Soul, I like that placement as well. Mikey could turn around on it, bumps it up for his teammate, but again, T-Jack, that defensive backbone for the Derechos here. He's been able to pretty much deal with everything so far. That bump away. Easy to break out. Over to Mikey. These passes coming through for the Superiors. Mikey to dribble that one, but is saved away. Just a minute now. Soul will miss that one. Back to Jaws. Big flick. Still in the midfield. And Superiors, you know, they're still searching for a goal, but based on how they're playing, I think they have a chance to do it.
For sure, for sure. One thing I'm seeing here that I'm not seeing much out of the Duluth squad is the bumps. You know, we're seeing T-Jack here. He's falling through that ball, and, you know, he's going for a bump after his challenge. I'm not seeing the aggression that I want to see here out of the Superiors that could get them the tie to this game.
They are so close. You can see, Crispy, you can see them set up clip after clip, and they are so close. They just need that final execution to get that shot on target. And they're so close to it, but 20 seconds now. Really now or never for game one, at least. K-Easy missed from him as well. Soul is forced backwards as the third man. 10 seconds, counting down. Big 50 to keep it in the Superiors half now. Jaws off the backboard. T-Jack to follow up, and that is the nail in the coffin for game one.
What a pass there from Jaws to keep that ball middle. And T-Jack is just there in that perfect position to put that one through, Tibbles. It looks like here we're going to see Des Moines taking game one. Will we see the Duluth Superiors bounce back?
I have to believe they are. I think they will, you know, based on how they're playing. For Derechos, they went up early 2-0. and there wasn't really much response from the Superiors. That one will touch the ground, of course. We pretty much already knew the result based on how that last goal had gone. Derecho will take game one, of course, but Superiors, I think they had a nice response. You know, for the first couple minutes, it was a little bit interesting. You know, player needs to restart, so we're going to stall, you know, talk a little bit about that game one and analyze it a little bit while, you know, the players are getting back in. But for the Superiors, I think they have the perfect opportunity to respond. And it really started when they were getting more possession in their half. They were going for passing plays, Crispy, that were actually pretty accurate. They were just missing that final shot to put it on target. And they had so many clips just lined up, and I was so ready to go crazy once they hit them, but they just didn't come out. And I think they got to be a little more precise on the offensive side.
Yeah, Tibbles, I agree with you. One thing else I'm seeing is 3 demos from the Derecho side and only actually none from the Superiors here. I believe it was that first goal. They got that demo that put them up by 1. And it's really, when you're an equally matched team, the one who takes the games away is the people who get those demos in the perfect rotation and take those goals to win by 1 or 2 goals in the game.
Yeah, and for Seoul, he had 4 saves that game. He had almost the amount of saves that Derechos had by himself. Derechos had 5 total. Seoul came out with 4 for the Superiors. So on defense a lot, you know, they've had some close calls. This offense from the Derechos, you know, for T-Jack, he's covering a lot of the field. And then Jaws is able to just do what he does best, you know, get off the wall, get boost, go for that air dribble, those mechanics. And they're doing such a good job. And it looks like the players are ready. I believe we have most of them. Of course, we're going to wait on our lovely producer. It looks like one player is, we're still waiting for him. So, you know, for game 2, I'm looking for the Superiors to continue those passing plays, get them a little more precise. That positioning needed a little bit of help. But I think their performance, Crispy, early on was what really crippled them for game 1. You know, based on how they're playing in the second half of that game. If they continue like that, I have high hopes for them in game 2.
For sure. As we see Mike, he is in now, as we will get it started with game 2 here. Des Moines up by 1. You know, one thing we saw is that you touched on is the 2-0 victory right at the start. We need to see Superiors come out here with a really strong start to take this one to make it to game 3.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how they start on this one. That's an early, dangerous call. Zomzoms will send it way over. Another double commit from the Superiors. Bump, though. That'll leave them space to get this one out. Soul uses all of his boost to get that down to K-Easy. That's a great shot. Jaws will barely get back to the ground to make a save on that one for his fellow Derecho players. Back in the Superiors half. T-Jack up for this one. Jaws up to Mikey. He had the save, but Jaws with the follow-through. And again, Derechos will score.
You know, they call those cheese goals. Jaws did not mean to get that coming on the way down. No. But they are up by 1 here with somewhat of a lucky goal. But, you know, we're going to call it a calculated one.
Yeah, double commits aren't usually the strat that you want to go for at this level. But, hey, if it works, right? They're going to take that goal. They're not going to complain about it. But for the Superiors, that's a little bit deflating, right? You know, you want to get back into this one quickly, like you said, and we'll have to see what the response is. I'm sure there will be one. That's a little awkward for K-Easy off the demo. It'll just go in off the 50. No. Jaws again will strike.
Jaws, I don't know what it is with that bottom right corner, but he is just finding it there. And again, 2 goals. I wouldn't call that one luck. It was just a bad 50 there from the Duluth Superiors.
And that's that speed from Jaws. Like I said, T-Jack the backbone, but Jaws will have that speed, get that challenge on the ball. K-Easy, no! It's off the post, and it was so close to going in. We'll just graze across the Derecho's goal there. Gary's still looking for one. Mikey with a boost. Maybe has a chance here. Zom's off the wall. A little bit awkward. Gets that 50 down over to his teammate T-Jack. They might have a breakaway there. Mikey has to make that save. He barely gets back to it. Over to K-Easy. Big pop-up. Zom's the last one back. Still in the corner. Mikey over to K-Easy. They might have a chance here. Soul instead will keep it in the corner. That's a kind of a funny decision because they basically gave possession back, and now Derechos have a chance to break. No way.
Soul here. Wow.
As I say that.
That was just really awkward on the... It was not the Superiors. It was really awkward on the Derecho part. They were all caught up, you know, over half field almost. and no one is back as third man as Soul pops that ball over all of them.
Yeah, and maybe a communication issue. It can be really dangerous when Jaws clearly didn't have that ball. It'll cost their team here, but no worries for them. They still have the lead for the derechos, but maybe another one for them. K-Easy in the corner. Let's see what he can do. No touch on the follow-up. Back to Jaws on the wall. Doesn't have the 50, actually. Doesn't even get any touch on the ball there. Mikey will retain possession. Another double commit for the derechos, and at some point, Crispy, that might come back to bite them.
I'm seeing great gameplay this game out of both squads here. Of course, Des Moines had that unfortunate goal scored against them from, overcommitting, but I don't know. I take it back a little bit. Des Moines just does not seem as strong in this second game as they were in the first. We saw a couple very lucky goals that they are fortunate of because they still have the lead. But I believe Superiors is going to take this one with the pressure they're putting up.
Yeah, I think that's kind of exemplified with that challenge by T-Jack right there. But Jaws on his own half. Will have to get this one out again. Gives possession away. Chance now for Mikey to get it past Zoms. But won't quite work. He does get a little touch on it. Over to T-Jack. Big challenge coming in. Soul will follow up on it. Can he get this one through? It's on the goal line. Can they do anything with it? T-Jack will tip it to one side, and Derechos this close to conceding another one. Jaws again to the other side. It's kind of case in point right here, but the counterattack. Where did that come from?
No, you hate to see that. It looks like, oh wow, it was a team play, not a pinch. Jaws with that perfect pass to T-Jack, who just slots that one in. And the Duluth Superiors were just not prepared for that one.
Derechos defense absolutely stood strong there. And, when you're on a team and you're on the offensive half, maybe you get a little comfortable, right? All right, good save from Zoms there. But maybe you're a little comfortable when you're on the offensive half, right? You got them. You're pressuring them. You think you have the goal. Just need one more hit, one more touch, maybe one more commit on the ball. Casey to drop that one down. Great save from T-Jack right again. But sometimes you get complacent. Sometimes you push up too far. And that's what's happening to the Superiors here. Now they need to find two. Just over a minute left now. T-Jack to block that one out. He has been absolutely instrumental for the Derechos. Fake from Soul. Zoms not going to fall for that one. Back to Jaws in the middle. All the way down on the counterattack. Hazy to keep it in the corner. Back to Zoms, though. Can he get them pass to the middle? T-Jack to follow up. It's the crossbar and down. But the own goal will almost seal it for the Superiors' fate.
Wow, another pass out from the Superiors. They're just not getting those clears that they want. Just an unfortunate touch right into him for the own goal in his own net there. That will probably seal it here for game 2, as the Des Moines will be going up by 2 games here. We really, really need to see something from the Superiors here for them to capitalize and come back in this series.
Yeah, there is some time for them to come back, but really not much. The margin of error is very small now. It's been getting smaller and smaller as this game has progressed. Back to T-Jack, though. Maybe looking to break one out. Maybe another goal for them to continue that cushion lead. Back to Soul. We'll take a controlling touch. Past one. T-Jack there first, though. And again, that's been so important. T-Jack on the backflip. Keeping it awkward. Keeping it in that Superiors half. Getting bumped by his own teammate. Maybe a chance here. Still in that corner. Rule 1 here. Might just bounce in again. T-Jack on the save. 20 seconds now. 3 goals for the Superiors. I don't think it's going to happen, but it has to happen now. Jaws will just keep it in the half. Soul across to try and get possession, but 10 seconds were just wasted off the clock. Derechos, every second that passes, their chance of winning this game goes up and up and up, and now it is impossible. Derechos will go up on match point after this touches the ground.
Now, one thing I am seeing here that is very, very interesting, actually, is Superiors outshot Derecho that game, and they still came away with a loss by 3. What do you think the reason for is that, Tibbles?
Like I said before, when they had offensive pressure, right? And then they got scored on that counterattack. They just got too comfortable with that rotation. They thought, with that mindset where what's happening right now will continue to happen. And it was in the Derecho half for a long time. You think we're on offense. We're going to continue being on offense, get that pressure through, get that goal back so we can tie it up. Well, that's not what happened. Of course, they cleared it, had to counterattack, and that's what Superiors need to watch out for, because Derecho, even if they're on their last life, they're on their goal line, right? A pinch, a team play, like you said before that you pointed out they had, could come out from anywhere, and Superiors cannot get complacent, even when they're on offense.
For sure. As we're going into game 3 here, Duluth is on the chopping block here. They need to take this game to go to 4. And the only chance they have here now is a 3-game win streak and a reverse sweep. Mikey here taking the ball out. He does get it past all of them and gets a hit to middle, but Jaws there for the clear as he follows up on that. Doesn't get the best of challenge, but they are just in disarray here as T-Jack bumps Jaws.
No way.
And the ball ends up. Wow, Tibbles. Wow, that is the goal, you know, you don't want to see as Des Moines, but it's a good look for the Superiors, even though it's kind of cheesy.
Oh, man. The Derecho's worst nightmare rotationally there, bumping each other. Third is not aware of what's happening, and it goes right in their net. And Superiors, this is the perfect chance for you to build on what you had. Mikey almost with that drop-down shot. Won't be the connection that he wanted, though, and now cleared the other way. Zoms to follow up. Back off the back wall. T-Jack. His shot is rebounded all the way back to midfield. Off the wall now. Who's there first? Soul. That's exactly what Superiors need. The demo coming through. Can they redirect it in? No! The save will come in, even with a player missing. T-Jack had his teammates back. And when you have a player like that, it's so hard to break past him. But you know what? I like what they're doing. They're trying to press on this advantage, and they were gifted a goal on that first play, Crispy.
Like you said, Tibbles, T-Jack is just the defensive backbone of this Des Moines squad. He is always there to save them when the ball is so close to being put in the back of their net. His awareness, just no wonder he is the Rising Star champion. He's just very aware of what's going on, Tibbles.
I was so ready for someone to be up on that double tap, you know, off the backboard and have one for the Derecho's back, but not quite. Mikey going for that flick. It was almost awkward enough to get it through. T-Jack will, thankfully for them, stand strong. Flip reset upside down is rebounded the other way. Awkward, a miss coming through. The party is missing. Everyone is gone. Maybe a chance for Derechos to get it through. No, back to K-Easy off the flip. Mikey to follow up. That huge 50 from Jaws will keep it out of the Derechos net. Off Soul now, off the backboard. Jaws coming through. Another double commit. Who will be there first? Soul, turn around on it. Past one, but can't get past Jaws. Psalms now over everybody. KZ needs that clear. Still in the Superior's corner, but they're doing their absolute best to extend this lead.
Soul here off the back wall. He's going to control this ball up the wall as he gets a 50, and Soul
open.
has an open opportunity here to go up 2-0, and Jaws comes back with the save. Wow. What an integrity in that play to get back. Wow. I thought that was for sure in from this squad.
And you could almost see that the angle wasn't quite right. It wasn't straight on to just go right into what a redirect by T-Jack. Sums to follow up. It's off the backboard. Anybody there? What just happened? I thought the defender was there, but T-Jack will just crash on through and get that goal back.
Wow. T-Jack, I don't know what happened there in the Duluth defensive back wall, but the ball just ended up coming right into the front of that net, and T-Jack is there to beat them out for that goal.
Yeah, the defenders are so close, but close is not close enough to keep that one out. And that lead that they were so generously gifted by the Derecho here is now gone. Easy will try to extend that to get that goal back, that lead back. Mikey getting faked out. Thankfully for him, he had a lot of space to work with. Soul big clear out just to give his teammates some space. Back to T-Jack, a miss coming from him. That might be awkward. Jaws coming through, still in the corner. Pretty safe for the Derecho. They have a good defensive stance to keep this one out. We'll get one out from T-Jack over to Zoms in the corner. Back to Soul. Off the wall. T-Jack again will receive. K-Easy to just knock this one out. And really, it's been a battle of, you know, who can get it out the farthest? Who can make the mistake or avoid the mistakes on defense? Because there hasn't really been much chance creation, you could say, Crispy.
For sure here. As they're going into this game tied with almost 1 minute left. It might be the first overtime of this series as Jaws taking the ball, an interesting play to hit that out to mid. I don't know if he meant to do that, as K Easy with the shot does not go on point, and they get the clear. Jaws looking to get a shot here and put pressure on, and T-Jack, wow, T-Jack, his offensive and defensive prowess is just showing back to back in this series.
It is, and I agree, but that hit off the backboard has to come out. It has to be a better clear, because like I said, T-Jack has that experience. He won last season. He won this league last season. Of course he's going to run it back. Of course he's going to be a major player in the standings. Jaws will almost knock that one through again to extend their lead, but not quite. And of course he had that shot. It was just not a good enough touch to keep that one out. And unfortunately for the Superiors, they will need to find another one, another demo coming through. This might be bad news for Mikey. He can't get that save. And Jaws, he's been prolific throughout this series. That might be the goal they needed to sweep.
You hate to see that. Jaws coming up as third man there, reading the play perfectly, leaving Mikey in the most awkward position there to not make that save.
39 seconds now. That's all Superiors have to keep themselves in this series. It's their last life. It's their last leg. That's all they got. We'll have to make the most of it. The situation that they have. T-Jack downfield now. Easy, the lone defender, will just push it forward. Back to Jaws, though. Plenty of boost. T-Jack up for this one. Will miss. Or fake it. You know, either one works. Just to burn seconds off the clock. That's really all you need to do. You got the cushion. You got the 2-goal lead. Jaws awkward on this one. Maybe a follow-up. No. Nobody there from the Superiors, and they needed somebody there. They'll just hit it forward. Midfield. No challenge coming through. 5 seconds. It's pretty much too late. That clear right there from Zoms will confirm it. They might even have one for the road. The fake's coming through, but either way, Derecho will sweep the Superiors in 3 quick games.
That's going to cut it, Tibbles. Superiors on the chopping block. They do not take that game there in game 3. And Derecho just every game and all the pressure just seemed to go in their end. I don't know. There's a lot of cheese goals in this series that I have not seen in a lot of Rising Star series. I don't know if that is because of positioning errors from both squads, but why do you think those cheese goals happened, Tibbles?
Yeah, it's awkward. You know, it's early on in the season, so maybe there's some awkwardness. And communication is such a big part of Rocket League, right? And that's probably one of the hardest aspects as well. You know, for competitive players, maybe it's been their first team. And a player like T-Jack, he's expecting those comms. He's expecting certain rotations. And it didn't quite work out for the Superiors here. But Derecho, I think they played so well. T-Jack was there, like you said, to save the day pretty much every time they had a problem. There were a few exceptions where, you know, like they had some awkward rotations, but overall, I think they looked really solid. And even with Superiors trying their best on the offense, I mean, they had some great opportunities that I was so hoping that they would be able to finish, but unfortunately not. And they'll get swept here, but they're pretty close. I wouldn't take this all as bad news.
For sure, Tibbles. Des Moines goes up to 2-1, and I believe the Duluth Superiors stay at 0 wins for the seasons coming into week 3 here. What do they need to do different to get that first win?
Yeah, it's such a difficult situation, right? You want to get that first win because that just gives you confidence in the roster moving forward. Really, all you can do is go look at those replays. You know, get a scrim going, get some analytical viewpoints from a coach or, you know, a higher ranked player. Get some goals for what you want to work on in that scrim. So, you know, don't make it too broad, too vague. You know, I want to fix everything. Focus on a couple things where you have in the back of your mind and do your best to execute and try and be better as a team. That's really all you can do.
Well said, Tibbles. Well, that's going to do it for the third series of the day. Des Moines takes it away in 3. Anything else left for you to say, Tibbs?
Not really. I'm excited for the next series, though. We got one more coming up for you tonight, and that is the Green Bay Knights and the Brainerd Victory. So we will see you in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. It should be a pretty short break.
I wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain. but I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe her, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow down. I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to.
Welcome back to Midwest Car Soccer, Minnesota Championship Series. Midwest Championship Series. The change happened a season ago, but I'm still messing it up. Alongside me, we have Whirl in the caster's desk, his second time on. But of course, he's a longtime caster for DCRL. Excited to have him on. And I'm curious what you think about this Knights and Victory matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, a Knights versus the Victory here tonight. I don't know many of these teams. I don't know a lot of the lore that's happening. But I do know a couple of these guys, and we have a little bit of background. I do know the Knights last week do have a 3-0 win, coming off a 3-0 sweep over the Duluth Superiors, and the Victory are actually coming off of a loss. So, it's looking like it's going to be in the Knights' favor, if I do say so myself. But I do have a personal connection with one of the members on the Brainerd Victory, so I'm not going to be biased by any means as a caster, but I'm hoping to see them succeed.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. And of course, on both sides, we have land winners. Of course, on the top with the Knights, we have Seer, and he won Prospect with Stratus, of course, back in Season 6. And Ari won with Forza and 40, earlier on in a few seasons ago. So both of these land winners, both of them can perform when the pressure is here, Whirl. So I'm excited for this one, and we should see what we get.
Definitely. Game 1 getting underway here between the Green Bay Knights and the Brainerd Victory, getting off to a hot start. It does look like Lasky going to try and get a shot on net. And right out of the bat, Tibbs, here I'm seeing a lot of aggression. And I know this is, I forget the actual name. What is this? Rising Stars, correct?
Rising Star, yep.
That is going to be one of the key points that I look for. I've casted a lot of, around this level of Rocket League, and one of the main things that a lot of teams fail to do is really high aggression, and right off the bat, I'm seeing it right off the bat.
Yeah, falling into that trap of just being too far back can definitely affect your gameplay, of course. You want to get those offensive chances. You had one there with that shot. It is blocked away. Back in the that corner there on the midfield. Rexo up for this one. Seer up first. We'll just let it hang. Ari has a lot of time, but Quick Horizon will beat him to it. Seer might have a chance here. We'll go high, take over for that follow-up. But Blasky will get it back to the other side, up to the ceiling. Quick Horizon. No, Blasky will have the touch instead. Getting dunked as well. Back to the corner. Nobody's there to follow up on it. Awkward defensive play. Maybe a shot here for Trexo. Will be off target and still in that corner.
Yeah, some good aggression coming out right now from this Victory. Good shot opportunity as it's Trexo puts it wide right. Had a good opportunity there to get the first goal of this series. Ari's going to take a little bit of a soft touch. Can't quite get around it though. Blasky gets a nice touch in the midfield. Does look like it's Trexo's going to get a good 50 over on this blue side. Seer's going to have to try and make something of this one. Gets it into the midfield. Quick Horizon looking a little bit awkward, but Takeover is able to take over that ball, and this one's going to get in the midfield. It's looking a little bit dangerous, but Quick Horizon just barely not in the right spot. Going to bang this one off the corner. Good opportunity, but it's Trexo just gets a nice beat.
Yeah, and I am not mistaken. I thought we did have a sub for the Victory, and we do have a sub in the form of Trexo. So, that might be a factor coming in. It can be, of course, our subs are fairly solid in Rising Star, but it can be a moment of contention, whether that will have the same effect as the main team. So far, it's been pretty back and forth, though. Now Ari for the Victory, trying to get this one out. Big 50 on the side of that midfield. Quick Horizon will take over. I've been really impressed with what I've seen from Quick Horizon lately. His gameplay has been, very much improved, very, very solid. Back to take over the midfield. Quick Horizon again, having to back off. We'll leave it for Seer. Over to Ari now on the Victory side. Back to Seer once again, over to the mid. Over to Blasky, but no passes on target for the Knights here. They're still searching for that passing play that they've been trying to go for.
Yeah, what a good skim there by, I believe it was Ari right in the midfield line to kind of gives the possession away, though. This ball's just floating in the midfield. This Trexo trying to get a shot on, gets another touch on Takeover, but he gets a decent 50. This is still dangerous, but Quick Horizon gonna go up. No contest there. Blasky is gonna bang this one off the sidewall. I've seen Blasky play a lot. That's my connection on this team. Blasky, I've casted him a lot, seen him play, so I'm really excited to see how he fits on other teams as Takeover gets another good cut. Maybe a good upper pass opportunity. Tic-tac-toe trying to happen, but Takeover just can't quite get the shot on net. Still dangerous. Going to try and get this one off the corner. Gets a touch. Maybe going to try and get this one midfield. Can't quite find it. It's already going missing here. No. Quick Horizon gets a good wave dash there. Good opportunity for Seer, but good save coming out from Ari.
This is so awkward from the Victory. They are a hair away from being scored on here. They do finally get it out. courtesy of those players there. Off the backboard now, Blasky from the ceiling. Can he drop it down? Off the backboard, Trexo, the sub to follow up. That shot is soft, easy clear for Sear in the end. Back to the wall, Blasky will take over, another pass through, no fake. Take over, we'll get a hit over to Ari. Back in the mid, Quick Horizon, a miss there, not enough boost to get on it. Take over, air dribble opportunity. Ari to just send that one down on both sides. It's been very scrambly, where I don't see very solid rotations. You know, a demo there might be awkward, a double commit coming through. If anybody was there for the victory, that would have spelled bad news, and Sear barely gets back for the stop.
Yeah, I mean, this is game one, right? I mean, a lot of teams, you know, use game one to kind of feel each other out a little bit, maybe get a little bit warm, stuff like that. At least the previous MCS series that I casted, the same thing happened. Game one, a little bit awkward, you know, some double commits, lack of communication, something like that. But as the series went on, I saw it progress a lot. But 30 seconds left to go. Still scoreless through regulation. We're going to see if Blasky can get something going. A little bit of an awkward play here, but it could be a shot opportunity for Trexo, but puts it wide. Blasky with the follow-up gets the first goal of the series. Blasky RL striking first here for victory.
Yeah, and I thought maybe Trexo had a chance to shoot that. Quick Horizon on the rotation back was so awkward, but in the end, off the backboard and a teammate follow-up, that was what worked. And that got them the goal. 20 seconds to go. Now the onus is on Knights. And Sear, the captain of that team, to try and get one back, tie this game up in the beginning of the series. Quick Horizon on the wall now. We'll be over to him. Sear just ascend it forward, launch. Over to him again. Big challenge by Blasky to get it out of the danger area. He can just get one more touch on it. Just has to touch the ground for the victory here. Almost back in the Knights' goal, but no, victory will take it with a 1-goal lead.
It's important to note, with that victory for this Brainerd Victory team, that's actually the Knights' first game loss. Coming off of week one. Knights win, you know, they won last week 3-0. So this is the victory, you know, coming off of a loss. This is a good start for them, especially, you know, considering the fact that, you know, it's Trexo, like you mentioned, he's the sub for this team. He is subbing in for Link. So, you know, seeing that's a great sign here, you know, for both of this teams, especially for Victor here.
Yeah, and when it's Trexo, you know, can come in, and he had the assist as well, right? If he gets a shot on target there's a good chance it goes in. If he gets a pass off the backboard there's a good chance it goes in because the teammate is following up. And that's the exact kind of rotation that I was looking for from the victory. You know, when you have a sub, you have to play like they're your main player. You can't play, all right, you're going to be the goalie, right? You're just going to be the third man. We'll do a twos rotation, and we're not going to include you. I don't see any of that. You know, he looked, you know, maybe a little slower than a normal player, but definitely giving a good performance, and almost pretty much looked the same as their main player. So we'll have to see if he can keep that one up, if Blasky and company can continue that hot streak.
Yeah, I mean, especially, you know, they got, you know, especially considering they got the game win, right? I mean,
yeah,
hopefully they can continue that stride. I mean, obviously coming off of a 3-0 sweep, this Green Bay Knights team definitely isn't something to take lightly. I'm hoping to see them speed up a little bit, or maybe get a little bit more decisive with their opportunities. A good bump or a disruption happening from takeover. The net was open. There was a window of opportunity there for Quick Horizon. Tried to get on net, couldn't quite do it. Looks like Blasky's going to try and get a 50, but gets beat by Takeover. Still, it's going to be a dangerous ball. Can Takeover get around it? Maybe a fake. Quick Horizon's there. Can't quite get the shot on net, and that was such a good opportunity there for the Knights.
Yeah, they were so close, but Knights still have it in that victory half. And of course, as I say that, they do clear it out. Awkward touch from Quick Horizon. Can't get the follow-up. You would expect Ari, the previous MCS Rising Star champion, to score that, and he does.
Yeah, that's just beautiful positioning. Ari getting in the right place out at the right time there. Quick Horizon off of his mistake. And that's going to be the first one here of game number 2. And again, going in victory. So far, the Knights are scoreless through this series so far. The Victory have been doing a pretty decent job. There's been some good opportunities for the Knights. They just haven't been able to get that last step, which is putting the ball in the back of the net. They've gotten good opportunities. They've gotten it to that point, but it's pretty much that last step that's been failing for them so far. So maybe just a little bit of finishing needs to increase here for the Knights in order to try and steal away this series, as Trexo makes a good save on the back line. Cirlo going to keep up this pressure. Takeover was there for a shot. Can't quite make it though. Gets a bump. That's going to put this one over the sidewall. Sear is there. Gets a good first pop. Demo on the back line, but Sear pops it up high. Takeover is there for the follow-up. And that's going to be the first one for the Knights as they equal this one up 1-1.
Oh, such a good demo from Quick Horizon onto the sub on the Victory. And they may be a little bit nervous when Sear, that shot went off the crossbar, but follow-up was there. And I was a little bit worried about the Knights because earlier on in this game, you saw some very awkward rotations. In a way, you're still seeing that. They still have that every once in a while, but Quick Horizon making up for his mistake earlier on in the game, leading to that victory goal. He's going to get one back here off the wall to himself, beats the sub and puts it in all by himself.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful play coming up from Quick Horizon to pretty much do everything, like you said, all by himself there. As the Knights find themselves in the lead for the first time this series. Quick Horizon gets a nice second man challenge off the cheat on the kickoff there. Ari's gonna pop this one up high. Gonna have a follow up on his own shot here. Maybe puts it across. Can Blasky get around this ball? He does. Ari's there for the follow up and banks it off that post. And that's gonna be yet another one here for the victory. They tied up 2-2.
An immediate response. And Quick Horizon slamming against the post there. Maybe he thought his teammate Takeover had that hit because it looked like he did. That was the hit he was going for. Maybe some miscommunication as well, but either way, the awkwardness strikes again for the rotation of the Knights here, and they will concede that lead that they're enjoying so much. That shot actually was very close. Already had to save. And I like to see that kind of play from the Knights. That's exactly what they need. The sub almost breaking through, scoring another one for the victory, but all the way back to Seer on the counterattack. Blasky with the save. Over to Takeover in the corner. Fast on this one, does get spun out. Sub misses on that one. Ari has to make that touch. He barely does. Over to Quick Horizon. What can he do? Off the backboard. The follow-up is not there. And Blasky might have a counterattack.
Yeah, but Seer handled that one perfectly. It was a 1v1 for a split second there. Seer gets a nice challenge to mitigate that opportunity for Blasky. But this one's still in this orange side. Quick Horizon maybe trying to find a back pass over to Seer. Seer has a lot of boost to work with here. Showing us some nice car control. Gets another 50. It's going to bounce off the other side wall here. Blasky's going to try and get a beat around Takeover, but can't quite find it. Ari going to put this one off the sidewall, maybe for himself. Going to try and read this bounce. A little bit awkward here. A little bit of maybe communication errors with the sub there. Not quite sure what to do as Quick Horizon. Going to try and transfer to offense here. Gets a nice touch over to this orange side. Blasky pops it up high. Ori finally goes, or Ari. Looks like Seer going to try and get a settle, but gets kind of 50 there by Trexo. Good 50 from Blasky as Trexo jumps up early. Gets a touch into the midfield. Can Ari find the finish? Can't quite get around as he gets 50'd out by that nice defender.
I keep seeing these double commits from the Knights. What happens is one player has, kind of an awkward touch. Seer will try to nudge that one forward. And then a second player comes and tries to help them out. And they don't get much of a better touch. Ari across his own goal. That was very risky. Put his teammates in such an awkward position. And thankfully for him, they actually made that save. Blasky with a shot now. Takeover will make that save. Ari off the corner now. And I cannot believe the arrogance there from Ari to just take it across his goal. Thankfully for them, they come out on top. Takeover with a shot there. And that pressure will finally pay off for the Knights. They get that lead back.
Yeah, just, again, it's just so much pressure coming out. Quick Horizon with a nice early challenge there. And a very, very favorable bounce off of that corner. Takeover showing some good rotations, good positioning there. Able to get another one here, and Knights find themselves in the lead once again. And, after game number 1, I would almost say similar things. But, the Knights had so much pressure. But like I said before, it was just that lack of the last step, which is, taking a quality shot, quality placement, stuff like that. Looks like they're doing a little bit better here in game 2, and it's paying off for them. But a minute left to go. Good demo. I'm noticing that's a common theme for this Knights team is a lot of demos on the back line. Very, very demo-heavy team potentially. So you're going to try and pass this one over to Takeover. Takeover is there. Trexo going to get up, though. This is just going to be kind of both these teams booming it back and forth between each other. I'm trying to look for some control here as Quick Horizon pops it back to Takeover. Who's going to try and get a 50 here. Ari gets a good 50. Seer's going to pop this one down low. Gets a pop around Blasky, but not able to have a follow-up.
And Trexo, the sub coming in there, was so close to getting that shot off, and it could have been a dangerous one for the Knights. They have that lead, but they are getting peltered by shots there again. Trexo coming through. The touch isn't there. Quick Horizon on the follow-up now. Seer pushing that one forward. Blasky has to make the save, but it's not very far. Takeover shot up top, too high. Seer to follow up. No, Quick Horizon will instead over the wall. That's exactly what they needed. Seer to doink that one. Might just be in. Already clear out. They have 7 seconds to get it downfield. Blasky with a start. Takeover over to the other side. Ari, they have to keep this one up. Still in the corner. And they get one across to the sub. It will not happen. And Knights will take another game win.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, I was saying.
No, the series is tied. Series is tied.
Yes, yeah. Correct. Yeah, I think Knights were just putting away more of their opportunities than they were in game 1, and then that's a huge reason as to why we're seeing a different outcome here in game number 2. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from Knights. I like the disruption. Demos are insanely overpowered in Rocket League, as we all know. So I'm liking the usage of that from this Knights team. And so if they can continue to abuse that backline, abuse the rotations, the defensive rotations coming out from Brainerd Victory, I think they're gonna have a lot of trouble. Because so far, Brainerd Victories, a lot of their goals have kind of just been on, quick counterattacks and stuff like that. Whereas Knights have kind of had more of a calculated, demo plays and stuff like that. So I'm looking for Brainerd Victory to try and find an answer to this demo play style.
Yeah, and for the Knights, Quick Horizon is looking just absolutely stellar.
Yeah, I agree.
There's been a little bit of awkwardness with him, but for the most part, he looks one of the most dangerous players on this pitch. He had that shot where he sent it to the wall to himself, got the pass back off the wall that he created himself, and then put a shot on target that went in. So has that goal by himself, complete solo play. And I'm looking for RA to step up a little bit, or sorry, no, Seer to step up a little bit more. Of course, not a mechanical player, but a very solid player nonetheless. And I'm looking for a little bit more speed from him. Very awkward on rotations. I think that's the biggest thing for them. And apologies for the wait. We are testing the ping for this new server. Of course, as soon as we get a new server that fits the needs of our players and, of course, the viewers, we will get started right here. But yeah, I think Knights, they need to come together, get those rotations right, because double commits were rampant. They were kind of all over the place. And of course, when they get going, they look great. But when they're, stuffed up in their corner, in their half, getting pressured by the Victory here, it's very tough going.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I have to wonder if it's, largely due to the part of the demos that the Green Bay Knights are bringing to the field right now. When you're always thinking about, being demoed and stuff like that, that hugely affects your rotations, especially when you actually do get demoed, right? It's throwing off, a lot of your defensive rotations. You're expecting your teammate to be there. He's not. You kind of have to step in. So, that's just that's just yet another reason why the demo play style is so good. You see it at the highest level, right? It's, I'm liking that decision and that analytic play style coming out from Green Bay Knights.
Yeah, and on the Victory side, I'm really liking how they're playing. I specifically, how Trexo is playing. I think he's doing really well. I feel like maybe some shot precision, even getting those shots off. There were a few opportunities where I think he had an opportunity to put a really good shot on target, and it didn't quite happen for them. But, clean that up a little bit, get those hits, get those shots on target. I think he's playing really well. I think he's fitting in really well. Of course, they took that first game. So, just more of what I saw in that game. And, we'll have to see if they can take more dubs.
I completely agree. I think like you said, there's been a couple of those missed opportunities, but for all we know, Tibbs, is that this might be his first time playing with these guys. We don't really know how much, he is the sub of this team. So, that is something. This could be just like playing a ranked game for the first time with someone you've never played with before. We don't know. We don't know the story. Nonetheless, playing with a sub is definitely a challenge in of itself. So the fact that they were able to take game number one, definitely huge. And I like you said, I think if they can continue a lot of those themes that they were bringing to the table in game one, I think they have a great chance of bringing it to this Green Bay Knights team. But somehow they're gonna have to find an answer for this for these demos. I keep bringing it up. It's just increased awareness. Looking around on the field more. Calming it out, stuff like that, because it's a hard play style to overcome. That is for sure, but it's definitely possible.
Yep.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah, more cohesion is really what I'm looking for. Just take a step back, chill a little bit, right? You're still in this one, and we'll have to try and get this game started. It looks like all the players are ready, so we're gonna hop into this game right here. But no, I'm excited for this one to continue. And I'm really liking how both teams are playing, but there's a few mistakes where, things are going wrong. And even at this level, right, this is the lowest league of MCS, of course, but even at this league, mistakes like that will cost you, right? Even just a small mistake, a goal can come from anywhere. So, you got to pay attention to those and be able to fix them.
Right. I'm not too sure. I'm not, like I said before, I don't really know the lore of MCS, but is Rising Star mostly like champ? Is that GC level? I'm not too sure.
Mostly, I would say high champ 3, GC1, like low
Okay.
GC2.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, like a lot of those rotational mistakes and stuff, you're gonna get punished at this level. It's 100% true. I think I'm gonna go back to one of the points I made prior to this, and that's I think this series is gonna heat up as it goes on. Maybe this is a little bit of ice once again as we wait for a new server and stuff. But I was liking the direction the series is going. Right? I mean, Green Bay Knights, they bring it back, bring it back to 1-1. But I do know that Blasky has what it takes. I've seen him do it a bunch to kind of rally back his team. He's a great in-game leader, stuff like that. I don't know how Ori or Trexo is, but yeah, I know Blasky has what it takes. So I'm looking for him to try and answer back and find some sort of answer. For those of you that don't know, Blasky himself, in a different league, he's led the league in demos per game in like multiple seasons. So I think maybe answering back some of the demos that the Knights are bringing, maybe Brainerd Victory could kind of look for some of their own and kind of clap back at that aggression.
Yeah, and you said you don't know Ari's temperament. He's a very confident player. All you got to look at is that play. I still can't believe it happened, World, where he took the ball out across his own goal. And not just a hit, not just a hit where you got a solid hit across your goal. It's not going to be much of a chance for defenders. It was like a flip reset attempt, just tumbling across the ball to try and get it out right in front of his net. You don't really see that too much from him, but a very confident player. One that has wanted to go challenger in the past. Of course, he's won Rising Star, so has a fair stake in that claim. And we're gonna get this game started for you guys. The game 3 coming through. Series is tied up. But like I said, Ari's confident, so that's why I'm really looking for him to lead this team as well.
Yeah, especially considering the fact that they have that sub, right? I mean, that's going to be extremely needed. You need that confidence in order to try and get anything to happen. But game number 3 underway here between the Green Bay Knights and Brainerd Victory. Maybe some ice on the play now. A little bit of a break, trying to settle back into this series as series is tied 1-1. So Brainerd Victory going to try and answer back now. We'll see if we can get a pattern going. And if we do follow that pattern, Brainerd Victory should maybe be able to pull us one away. But right off the bat here, Ari looking a little bit awkward. Going to make a touch over to Sears. Going to look for a pass over to Quick Horizon. He's shut down by Blasky. This one's just going to be banged all the way down the field on a good save by Blasky. I don't know if he was necessarily intentionally going for a shot there, but it ends up just going all the way back down to the other side of the field. And Brainerd Victory find the first goal.
And I was going to say, World, I love that play. As soon as Quick Horizon got the ball, I was going to say, I love that play. Exactly what you want to do. The passing play, the infield pass in front of the goal to get a shot on target. That shot goes exactly the other way that he wanted, but they actually might have one on the other side. Now take over the drop one in. Won't find that touch. Ari now the counterattack. Sear trying his best to get back. That demo coming through. You like to see that from Takeover. Recognizing the danger. Quick Horizon with another demo, but the possession still in the Victory's hands. Takeover now in the midfield. Over one. Blasky will get a touch, but doesn't go very far. A little bit awkward for that defender there. Sear again forced backwards. Quick Horizon will come in. A double commit again. Now take over the lone defender back. We'll get that clear out for the Knights here. I can see what they're trying. Quick Horizon with a pass off the post. Sear to finish off. The defender was so awkward, and I was going to say I'm a little worried for them, but no, they got that goal back, and they're looking great.
Yeah, that's definitely a good answer that you want to that first goal. Especially like you said, it was such a good opportunity on that first goal for the Victory, but I mean, to have it go the other way is kind of like exactly the opposite of what I thought was going to happen. So to get that goal back is definitely huge, and Sear finds a crazy angle in this orange corner. Here, he's going to find his second of the game on a beautiful, beautiful shot from the corner. Nobody was expecting that.
Yeah, and least of all Trexo, who gave that ball away. He thought, you know what? I'm going to give it to you, but you're in a spot where you can't score that, right? Try me, right? Shoot it, try me. No, he definitely did try it, and he definitely did succeed. So Trexo probably regretting that touch right now, but they're going to have to find their way back into this game 3. Plenty of time to do it. And a 1-goal lead is not too scary. Start off with Ari here. 0 boost, so we'll have to abandon the air dribble. Trexo, the sub, coming in. Doesn't quite get that touch. Blasky does get one touch forward. Back to Quick Horizon. The demo's coming through once again. Takeover, don't get it middle. Quick Horizon. This play from the Knights was absolutely fabulous.
What an absolute banger play. The demo to start things off. Quick Horizon finds Takeover on the backboard, and Takeover gets a beautiful touch right in front of that orange net, right? Puts it on a golden platter. And that is just a stellar play coming out from this Green Bay Knights team. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why they're probably 3-0 wept in that week number 1.
This team just tells me, oh, Blasky, oh, hit there. That's just going to roll in. Oh, the bounce. As soon as I saw them go for the bump, I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That one is going to go in. And they do get that goal back, cutting that deficit in half.
I mentioned it, Blasky. I've always known him to be a very aggressive and bump heavy play style. So seeing him go for that there is a good sign in my opinion. It results in a goal there, and they're going to bring it back within 1 goal. It's exactly what you want. If you're a Brainerd Victory fan here, Ari going to make a defensive touch here in the corner. If Strexel going to follow up on this, but ends up hitting it straight to Quick Horizon, who gets a beat around 1. Takeover goes up. Looks like Quick Horizon going for a bump, and that one almost finds its way into the net on a crazy double tap attempt there from Takeover. Ends up sending it wide though. Sear going to stay on this ball. Gets a good 50 from Blasky. This one's going to go back into this orange corner, back and forth. Maybe an opportunity. Sear gave Takeover a window there. I don't think Takeover was really expecting a demo though. He's gonna go up again, banging off the backboard. Blasky's not gonna be able to find it, but Ari finds a good clear out.
Yeah, and that can look kind of odd when that play comes through, the demo comes through. But if you're not expecting it, right, you don't want to risk it. Of course, you don't want to risk that shot if the demo doesn't happen. So, from a player perspective, that definitely makes sense. But for the Knights here, I get the impression that they're a team that when they're playing well, when they're winning, they get even better. But when they're down, kind of struggling, it's a little bit hard for them. And you can see that from how Takeover is playing. He looked a little bit awkward at first, but this game he's absolutely popping off. He's going for some crazy hits. That double hit that he had earlier didn't quite work out, but the idea was there. Blasky now getting that second touch. Sear will drop it up to the ceiling. Ari now off the backboard. No pass coming through. Takeover on this one, 2v1. Quick Horizon going for the bump. He tackles Blasky into the back of his net, and again they get that 2-goal lead.
Yeah, these bumps are just so efficient for this Green Bay Knights team. I mean, just Quick Horizon even being there had Blasky shaking in his boots right on the goal line there. It's going to be yet another goal that's resulting from another demo for this Green Bay Knights team. They bring it back up to 2, the lead. And Ari going to try and continue out here, get something for his team going, but nothing comes from it. Went for the reset there, doesn't find it. As Sear gets a beautiful touch right in front of the net. Quick Horizon with a beautiful, fast follow-up, and that's going to be a 5th here for the Green Bay Knights.
That is such a good read from Sear. Like, if you're a viewer and you don't watch Rocket League, let me tell you, those corner hits are hard. Those corner reads are hard. And to get the exact perfect pass to the top of the goal, central, where Quick Horizon can just tap it in, absolutely insane coming out from Sear. Knights are absolutely popping off at this point. And every time they touch the ball, they look like they're creating chances for themselves. And that's exactly what I look for from a rising star team. Sear with a shot. Quick save from Blasky over to Ari now. Flick down field. Quick Horizon will just leave that one for his teammate Sear. Missed from him. A little bit awkward. Trexo looking for that touch, doesn't find it. Blasky off the corner. Ari committing as well. That miss coming through. Can they get it downfield now? The demo from Takeover. Quick Horizon just has an empty net to flick. He can't get the touch. That could have been his 6th goal, but at this point, it might not even matter.
It might not. 30 seconds left to go. Brainerd Victor going to need an absolute miracle now. They're going to need a bunch of goals in quick succession here to have any chance. It's Trexo makes a soft touch over to this blue side. Blasky does get a 50 upfield, or he's going to jump for it, but I think he ends up bailing on it. Sear gets a huge clear downfield, and that's going to waste so much time. They're just going to try and go for a 6th goal. Looks like Sear just barely not able to find it. Blasky can maybe try and get one for the road here. Tries to get a flick over Takeover, but Takeover just gets a beautiful 50. And ladies and gentlemen, this game number 3 looks like it's going to go to Green Bay Knights. They're going to go up 2-1 now in this best-of-5 series, progressing to match point.
And I talked, during that long break where, we were talking about how the series was going so far. I basically said, both teams are doing all right, but they're playing messy. Knights, they completely cleaned that game up. I mean, I got to give a lot of credit to Takeover as well. He seems like the glue between this team, because Sear is solid, Quick Horizon is solid, pops off at points. But Takeover kind of runs the midfield. And when he's feeling it, when he's getting those mechanics, those sidewall reads, the whole team just seems to start performing better. and they were just on point with some of their shots and passes. Like I still can't even believe the read that Seer had in the corner to get that to Quick Horizon. That was just such a good opportunity that, you know, when you're given like that, you cannot miss. There's no way you can miss that. And they're just setting each other up so well. Can they keep it going? Will we see a response from Victory, or will this be the Knight story for the rest of the series?
Yeah, so far it's really looking like it is going to be this Knight story. They've been playing so well ever since game number 1, where they gave up that game. But I will say a lot of this Brainerd Victory, you know, a lot of their success hasn't been fully intentional in my opinion. A lot of it's kind of happens from, you know, an unwritten mistake coming from Green Bay Knights. Whereas Green Bay Knights, so many of their goals are just, you know, so calculated, so many good passing plays and stuff like that. So Brainerd Victory need to try and find something other than just kind of playing this boom ball, whatever they've been doing so far. Is Ari going to get a touch into this corner, take over, living up to his name, taking over the series so far. It looks like a little bit awkward though, almost just lets that one roll in. And on zero boost here, Seer's going to maybe try and look for a path, but ends up just booming it upfield. Ari's going to make a touch in the midfield. Still has boost to work with. Can't quite find the beat up around Quick Horizon. So it's Trexo maybe trying to find a pass down to Blasky, but gets 50'd by Seer. This one finds its way back in the orange corner.
Yeah, you're seeing those passing plays develop for, oh no. All right, Blasky's there for the save. Victory, we're, 2v1 here. Can Takeover get back to that one? No, Quick Horizon will bail out his teammate at the last possible second. And I thought it was doom and no glory for this Brainerd team. But, you know, they almost had it. Takeover now will take over this ball. Still has a touch. No, we'll miss that one. Quick Horizon forced backwards. Off the wall to himself. Ari there first. Again off the wall. Seer not fast enough. Ari no boost left. We'll have to leave it for Takeover on the other side. Back to Trexo now. What can he do with it? That bump coming through. 50 instead. Ari up for this one. Up high. Can Trexo get a touch on it? Got on target, but it wasn't hard enough to really be a threat for Quick Horizon. And now Ari will have to possess this ball in his own half.
Yeah, an awkward 50. We're seeing, that's like the second time that I've seen Ari go for like a defensive flip reset. Goes for one there. Ends up saving himself a goal from it, actually. Takeover gets a beat around one as Trexo's the last man back. He gets a much needed touch, but Quick Horizon is there for the follow-up. He puts it up high. I don't think there is going to be a follow-up from Takeover as he's playing very patiently. Gets a good read off of that hit coming from Mitch Trexo. Ari's going to have to corral this ball out of his own corner. Gets a nice touch up around Quick Horizon. Blasky is there for the follow-up. He's going to try to get another touch, but Takeover pops it up high. Ori gets a nice beat around one. Blasky trying to beat another. This net is wide open. We'll see if it's Trexo can try and maybe get this ball mid. Can't quite do so from a good defensive touch coming out from the Green Bay Knights. So you're going to keep this ball going in the midfield. Demo attempt from Quick Horizon fails as Ari able to get around this one. Takeover has a double tap opportunity, puts it down! And what a beautiful double tap coming from Takeover.
Flying so confidently through the air, feathering the boost, comes down. Ari was even in the right spot, just behind where the ball would go. Couldn't find the save, and what a pop-off moment for that player there for Takeover. I mean, you know, they were so content for the Knights to just basically sit in the victory half, give them the ball, and say, you know what, you have the ball. We'll just wait for you to make a mistake, and we'll score off of that. But I got to give all credit to Takeover there. That was an insane play to get one. And going up for that, you just had a feeling. Right, you just got that feeling that he's going to put that ball in. And, of course, he does. 2 minutes now. And they are 2-1 up in the series. So, of course, Victory will have to find this game win, excuse me, if they want to continue the series. Quick Horizon doing some defense. Ari will take over. Big 50 through. Still in the corner for Seer. Not much boost to work with. Just getting us downfield. Couldn't quite seal the corner either. That pops up for Takeover. Can he drop it in? A little bit too far even for him. Back to the corner for Seer. Blasky will get this one out. Gets absolutely tackled by Ari. Maybe some space. No, Blasky will not let them have any of it. Back to Takeover in the middle. Seer will take over. Big clear the other way, just to the half. Blasky has a chance here to get a counterattack going, but it's just to the corner for now.
Yeah, Ari going to try and follow up on this one. Looking a little bit awkward. Maybe going to go for a double tap of his own. Tries to get it, but knocked away by this Green Bay Knights team defense. This one's gonna pinch off the side while Takeover gets a beautiful read. Puts this one over to this orange side. They're gonna try and get something going. A little bit awkward here as a miss from Trexo forces Ari to make a crazy play. Gets a nice catch, showing some good car control there. Has 0 boost now though. Maybe gonna try and look midfield, but nobody's gonna be there from his team. This Trexo goes missing on that one. Takeover gonna try and get a flick going, but Blasky with a nice early challenge puts that one away. The game is still within 1 goal here, still completely winnable for Brainerd victory. They just need to try and get some sort of offensive pressure going, but so far Green Bay Knights have just been maintaining this midfield control so well.
Yeah, we now cross the 30-second mark for victory to get a goal through, tie up this game so we can continue the series. Or will Knights just take this home? Sear up to the ceiling. That could be awkward. Quick Horizon with the tail end of his car will just flick that one all the way up. Takeover now. Great pass to Sear. What can he do? Up to the ceiling. Back to Takeover. No follow-up. A little bit of an awkward touch. Already downfield. Quick Horizon on his lonesome. Just gonna touch it. It's pinched all the way back to the midfield. That is surely not what Ari wanted. Miss from Trexo. Blasky to keep it up. Up to the ceiling. This is the one chance they have. Ari downfield, but no follow-up from the victory, and the Knights will take this series.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised, I'm not gonna lie, just purely basing it off of, last week's results. We see a 3-0 sweep coming out from the Knights, so I was really surprised to see victory take game number 1. But ultimately, Knights come back, games 2 through 4, and I mean, they really ended up taking it to them. So many good plays coming from them. We saw a lot of good passing plays, good demos. We saw Takeover hit that nasty double tap.
Yeah.
This Knights team has a lot going for them, and I can see that right now. They're going to be a tough team to beat for sure. I'm loving what I'm seeing from this Green Bay Knights team.
Yeah, absolutely. And apologies for the scoreboard looking not quite right. It said it was 1-1. It was actually 2-1 in favor of the Knights. So they will take the series here. But yeah, that is the end of our stream tonight. We will have more action for Challenger tomorrow. Of course, that is the middle league of MCS. But any final thoughts, Worrell, before we send it out?
No, other than the fact that what I already said, it does look like this Green Bay Knights team is going to be one of the teams to beat. They progressed to 2-0 on the season. Victory taking the loss here. They go, down to 0-2 now. I'm definitely going to be following this Green Bay Knights team. Like I said, I'm loving what I'm seeing. I mean, it's only week 2 and they're already hitting these crazy, chemistry-based, demo-based plays. I'm loving what I'm seeing, and I'm going to definitely be paying attention to them moving forward.
Yeah, I love what I saw from Takeover. Some really good mechanics. And I feel like he was that player brought in specifically to do that, right? Quick Horizon and Sear, very solid players, very good players, deserve to be in Rising Star, but not known for their mechanics. So I feel like he kind of makes up for that a little bit and is there to liven up the play style here. So yeah, congratulations to the Knights. That will be the end of our series and the end of our stream as well. But of course, come back at 6 Central tomorrow for more Challenger action of MCS.
Peace out.